लोको साथ न चालै बिनु भजन ਵੇਖਿਆ ਸਗਲੀ ਛਾਰੋ ਹਰਿ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਕਮਾਵਨਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹੋ ਧਨ ਸਾਰੋ ਆਸਟ ਪਦੀ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕਰੋ ਵਿਚਾਰੋ ਏਕੋ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰੋ आवरे पाव सब मीत बिसारहो चरण कमल हृदय मह्योरे तारहो कारण कारण सो प्रभु समराथो दृढ़ो करे गहो नाम हारे वाथो एहो तानो संच हो भगवंत संत जना का निर्मल मंत एक आस राख हो मन माहे सर्ब रोग नानक मिट जाहे जैसो तन को चारे कुंट उठे तावहे सो तानो हर सेवा ते पावहे जैसो सुख को नित बाछहे मीत सो सुख साधु संग प्रीत जैसो शोभा को करहे भली करनी सा शोभा भाजो हर की सरनी अनेक उपावी रोग न जाए रोग मिटाए हरे अब खादो लाए सर्म निदान मह हर नाम निदानो जापे नानक दरगहे परवानो मन प्रबोध हो हर कह नाए दाह दिसे धावत आवे ठाए ता कहो बिघन न लागै कोय जाकै हृदय बसै हरे सोए काले ताती ठांडा हरे नाव सिमर सिमर सदा सुख पाओ भौ बिन सै पूरन होए आस भगत पाए आत्म परगास ते तो घरे जाए बसै अबिनासी कहो नानक काटी जम फासी तत् विचारो है जनो साचा जन्म मरै सो काचो काचा आवा गवनो मिटे प्रभ सेव आप त्यागे सरने गोर देव यो रतन जन्म का होए उदारो हरे हरे से मरे प्राण आधारो अनेक उपाव न छूटन हारे सिमरत शास्त्र वेद विचारे हरे की भगत करहो मन लाए मन बंछत नानक फल पाए ठरे संग न चाल से तेरा तना तू क्या लपटाव है मूर्ख मना सुत मीत कुटुंब आरो बनिता इनते कहो तुम कब न सुना था राज रंग माया बिसथार इनते कहो कब न छुटकार आसो हस्ती रथ असवारी झूठा डांफो झूठो पासारी जिन दिए तिस बुझे ना बेगाना नाम बिसारे नानक पछोताना जिन दिए तिस बुझे ना बेगाना नाम बिसारे नानक पछोताना गुर प्रसाद going over last session तत्व विचारो कह जानो साचा Guru Sahib ji is about to do a vichar of the tat of the essence. In other words, of the ekta between nirgun and sargun through prema bhakti. Janame marai so kacho kacha ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਜੇ ਜੰਮਦਾ ਤੇ ਮਰਦਾ ਆ that person's fragile still because that person is adheen to their indre stuck in duality so that's why janme marai and that person's kacho kacha avagavan mitae prabh save Maharaj gives a solution to this आप त्यागे सरने गुरुदेव so question and answer the way Bhagaji translated this hey Maharaj how can the cycle of birth and death be erased and Guru Sahib Ji answers ਆਵਾਗਮਨ ਮਿਟੈ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸੇਵਾ ਆਪ ਤਿਆਗੇ ਸਰਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ। ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਗ ਕੇ, renounce yourself, ਈਗੋ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਰਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸੈਂਚੁਰੀ ਪੈਣਾ ਕਰੋ। Now, renouncing oneself, killing the ego, or maybe we should say controlling the ego, ਪੰਚ ਦੂਤ ਤੋਦੋਂ ਵਾਸੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਕਾਲੋ ਕੰਟਕ ਮਾਰਿਆ, bringing it into control, the realization that there's just that one, the transcendence of this ego, that it is beyond you, the realization, the understanding. And this understanding comes from Gurbani. And this understanding comes through abhyas of Gurbani, Vaheguru Mantar. And Maharaj gives this gift that there is no distinction. And that is the eradicating of duality. That is eradicating of Dvaitapana. So, renouncing the ego, Sarane Gurdev, and doing Maharaj's seva while being in Guru Sahib Ji sanctuary, race is being born and coming and going according to desires. When the desires finish, the desires also finish through abhyas. The desires also finish, either fully finish, they become shobh desires towards Guru Sahib Ji, towards Prema Bhakti, and then they eventually cease to exist, I believe, as well. And that is through Prema Bhakti. Eo ratan janam ka hoye udharo. This is the way. Hare Hare Simare Prana Adharo. E Prana da asra, bringing Guru Sahib Ji into your life and recognizing that they're the support of your brothers. A Shabad is the support of your Sa, of your Swas. And moving from there, the Duji Lam, the Tiji Lam, Duji Lam, Anhad Shabad Vajai. Recognize that Maharaj is the support of your breath. The Tiji Lam of Vairag. And Vairag from the perspective of a realization that everything is false, but also realization that, and once again, it's all on a spectrum, that even our thoughts aren't facts, right? Even from that perspective. From a therapeutic perspective, we speak about this from Vairag. Having Vairag from your own thoughts as well. That negative self-talk, if that's going on in the head, or I am not worthy, I'm not this, I'm not that. That negative self-talk, having Vairag from that, pulling away from even things like that, and living a life according to the state of Jardi Kalanis, a state of optimism, half glass full type of life. So looking at life through that lens. So this is the method, by putting Shabd in the Swas. This is the method where birth and death will be erased. Anikopav na chutan hare, Simrit Sas, the Ved Vichare, going back to the third Astpadi, that Pekhe Sabtodol Puja se nahi Hare Hare Nanak Nam Mol. So all the Simrit Sas that Veda Tunia Panjatat, I mean, ਅੱਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਗੱਭੇ ਬਹਿਣਾ, ਧੂਣੀਆਂ ਧੌਣੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ, all that type of stuff, ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥ 'ਚ ਚੱਕਿਆ, ਹੱਥ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਇੱਕ ਲੱਤ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਣਾ, all these types of things, they will not move us towards Parmeshwar. So Vikar, the cycle of birth and death, and without the loving devotion of Guru Parmeshwar Ji in their seva, none of these these methods will work. We will not be spared from pain, chaos, vikar through these methods. हर की भगत करहो मन लाए माने banchata nanak phal paye. Guru Parmeshwar ji saying that Das practices loving devotion of Guru Ram Das and Maharaji Panj Pashi is stating. And utho from which I receive the fulfillment of my desires. And so Bhagaji wrote some of this as like maybe compiling Guru Granth Sahib Ji from that perspective. And Maharaj Upadesh to us that we should also do this. Gur Prasad, Sangena Chala Se Teratana. So this is where we're starting today. Sangena Chala Se Teratana. So now we're talking to the man. Sang with Nal na nahi chala se will go chalana tera your tana. Wealth, money, tan, padarat. Sangena chala se. We'll do the next two lines together. तू क्या लपटावे मूर्ख मना तू यू तू क्या what why क्यों लपटावे क्यों विच लपटदा तू क्यों चुंबड़दा why are you getting entangled in it why are you attaching to it why are you clinging to it मूर्ख fool मूर्ख ignorant मूर्ख ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਸੋਝੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨਾ oh my mind ਤੂੰ ਕਿਆ ਲਪਟਾਵੇ ਮੂਰਖ ਮਨਾ so we'll do the English first then I'll go through the Punjabi so you guys can write maybe at the same time oh ignorant and greedy person murukh mana or man for the accumulation of wealth why do you consistently latch on to poisoning bombing and killing others this wealth will not go with you when you die so hey lobhi murukh jeev a greedy person a murukh person ਤੂੰ ਧਨ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਲਈ ਬੰਬ ਸੁੱਟਣ ਜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੂਕਣ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇਣ ਕਤਲ ਕਰਨ ਚ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਚੁੰਬੜਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਧਨ ਨੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਸੰਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਕਬੀਰ ਕੌਡੀ ਕੌਡੀ ਜੋਰ ਕਹਿ ਜੋਰ ਹੈ ਲੱਖ ਕਰੋੜ ਜੋਰੇ ਲੱਖ ਕਰੋੜ ਚਲਤੀ ਬਾਰ ਨਾ ਕਛ ਮਿਲਿਓ ਲਈ ਲੰਗੋਟੀ ਤੋਰ So Kabir, the mortal gathers wealth shell by shell, accumulating thousands and millions. But when the time comes for this person's departure, he will take nothing with him at all. Even stripped of their langoti. It's like langoti is like what wrestlers wear in India, like the traditional wrestlers, that type of langoti is what they wear, like their underwear style, that type of thing. Even that gets ripped off of you. Nothing gonna go with you. Lay langoti tor. Even there your langoti will be ripped off. What are you talking about? So, sangena chala se tera tana. Tu kya laptav hai murkh mana? Once again, this does not mean, from my perspective, this does not mean that we don't work and gather wealth and all that. This means that we are not attached to whatever happens. You make it, you don't. Like the attachment piece isn't there, the anxiety of it, the depression of it, both streams, the future and the past, those don't exist in the Sikhi mat. A state of Chardi Kalaness exists. Money comes, Shokar Maharaj. Money doesn't come, wealth doesn't come, Shokar Maharaj. That doesn't shift. So संगे न चाल से ते रहता ना तू क्या लपटा भे मूर्ख मना. Now get into रिश्तेदार and family. Sot meaning son. Meet son पुत्र. Meet friend मित्र. कुटुंब meaning परिवार family. Aro and banita. Banita meaning wife meaning istri. If we break banita down, it's in reference to a female energy. So even saying spouse, it's in reference to a female energy. So banita is wife, so istri. Sot, meet, kutamb, aro banita. Once again, Sanji Sakhi Mahapurush Bolde was actually Sanji Jagal Jahan Sagal Jahan ne messed up that line, but meaning that when Maharaj speaks, he speaks to the whole Jahan, not just one person, not just male or female. Maharaj speaking to everyone. Sot, meet, kutamb, aro banita. In te, in these, inna, te, to, from, by, kaha ho. Tell me, say, daso, das mainu, tum, you, tu, kavan, which, who, kaun, sanatha. Sanatha, kritarth, surakhyat, meaning protected, meaning blessed, meaning secured, secure, meaning fulfilled, sanatha. Yigaji, tell me, O person, has anyone ever truly been provided with safety, comfort, or salvation from their son, friend, relative, or wife? None of these people can provide you with salvation. Children, spouse, wealth, and maya. Who has ever obtained peace from these? Puttar, meet, parvar, aro istri. ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਦੱਸ ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕੌਣ ਕ੍ਰਿਤਾਰਥ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਅਤ ਸੁਖੀ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਭਾਵ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਕਲੱਤਰ ਲక్ష్ਮੀ ਮਾਇਆ ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕਹੋ ਕਵਨੈ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਇਆ ਧਨ ਉਦਾਰਾ ਸੰਪਤੇ ਸਗਲ ਜਿਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਰੇ ਮਾਨ ਇਨ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਛੋ ਸੰਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਚੀ ਜਾਨ ਨੌਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ संग न चाल से ते रहता ना तू क्यों लपटावे मूर्ख मना ए मना तू क्यों लपटाਉਂਦਾ क्यों चुंबड़दा आ it's not going to go with you why are you getting caught up if you have it or if you don't have it do what you're supposed to do ठीक है from a worldly perspective be the best you can be at whatever you do but the results don't have anxiety of them don't have depressive episodes of them sut mi taktam baro baneta all these relations sinte kaho ho tum kavan sanatha ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ they can't give you salvation ਰਾਜ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਰਾਜ kingdoms ਰਾਜਪੁਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਰੰਗ pleasures ਆਨੰਦ ਮਾਇਆ illusion ਮਾਇਆ ਕਹ ਕਬੀਰ ਜਿਸ ਉਦਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਸੋ ਮਾਇਆ ਇਹ ਮਾਇਆ ਜੇ ਤੋ ਹਰੇ ਵਿਸਰੈ ਭਉ ਇਹ ਮਾਇਆ ਜੇ ਤੋ ਹਰੇ ਵਿਸਰੈ I think ਮੋਹ ਭਜੈ ਭਉ something like that Anand said ਭਉ ਦੂਜਾ ਲਾਇਆ from which attachment arises and you get attached to duality and you forget Vaheguru Ji Maya ਮੋਹ ਭਜੈ ਭਉ ਦੂਜਾ ਲਾਇਆ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ expansion ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਇਹਦਾ meaning enjoying luxurious beds, engaging in immoral acts, watching films and listening to filthy songs, consuming intoxicants, indulging in this vast kingdom of Maya, illusion. ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਸੇਜਾਂ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨੀਆਂ ਮੰਦ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਦੇਖਣੀਆਂ ਗੰਦੇ ਗੀਤ ਸੁਣਨੇ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਵਰਤਣੇ ਆਦਿ ਮਾਇਆ ਝੂਠੇ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਸਹਿਤ ਆਨੰਦ ਮਾਣਨੇ falling into this illusion of Maya. सांगे न चाल से तेरे तना तू क्या लपटावे मूर्ख मना सुत मीत कुटुंब फैमिली और बनता इस्त्री इनते कहो हो तुम कवन सनाथा की थानू सौखे है ना तो की थानू थोड़ी कल्याण है ना तो राज रंग माया विस्तार this illusionary kingdom of pleasure this expanded kingdom that's in front of us in te kaha ho kavan chutkar in these inna to te from to in te from these kaha ho say tell the so kavan who which kisada chutkar mukti liberation tell me who has ever attained liberation through these worldly pleasures of Maya इनते दसो किस दा छुटकार हुंदा है तो रंग तमासे बहु विधि चाय लागे रहया चेतना आयो पार ब्रह्मो ता सर्व की जून गया मेरी मेरी धारी ओहा पैर लोहारी just cutting your own foot off you may enjoy the enjoyments of it and entertainments of all sorts and kinds and continue to enjoy exciting pleasures and yet if you do not come to remember Vaheguru you shall be reincarnated as a snake the sarp ki joon gaya jene chetena ayo par brahmo the sarp ki joon gaya so इनते कहो हो तुम इनते कहो हो कवन छुटकार राज रंग माया विस्तार Maharaj goes on to talk about the dunya also kode horses or horse hasti elephant hathi rath chariot asavari the act of riding or a vehicle or animal used for riding asavari so horses elephants chariots and all kinds of vehicles ਘੋੜੇ ਹਾਥੀ ਰੱਥ ਜਹਾਜ਼ ਆਦਿ ਸਭ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਸਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ so raj rang maya bisthar and now we're talking about aso hasti ratha savari and this is all jhootha downfall jhootha meaning false jhootha downfall meaning pakhand fakeness hypocrisy false show jhootho jhoot meaning jhoot falsehood pasari Pasari, the one who spreads this, the expander, Pasari. So Chuta Damfo, this false show, this show that we put on, this hypocrisy. Chuto Pasari. The Jeda Pasari, the one that does this, oh we chuto. So the show of power with the above vehicles is false as the is the one who shows off this illusion. That's the artha there, right? So chuta damfo chuto pasari. So the damfa um, and the pasari. So the show of power with the above vehicles is false, and the pasari as is the one who shows off this illusion. Dono jhoote hai. It's all it's jhoot. And Bhagji expands on this. Why is this jhoot? This is because after obtaining these riches, such a person did not help others or does not help others. They get stuck in this illusion. The person forgets the giver and gets lost in these gifts. Guru Sahib Ji's Asha, Guru Sahib Ji's aim for a Sikhs is to keep moving on the path of Prema Bhakti, of devotional, loving devotion, and not get caught up in the pleasures of illusion. So Baba Horo Chadana, Chadana, Husi Khwaro, Jito Chade hai, Tano Pidi hai, Man Meh Chale Vikar. ਇਹ ਪਖੰਡ ਦਿਖਾਵਾ ਝੂਠ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਝੂਠੇ ਪਖੰਡ ਦੇ ਦਿਖਾਵੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਸਾਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਾਸਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਝੂਠਾ ਹੰਕਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂ ਜੋ ਰਾਜ ਫੌਜ ਖਜ਼ਾਨੇ ਆਸੋ ਹਸਤੀ ਰਥ ਸਵਾਰੀ ਦਾਤਾਂ all the vehicles that we talked about the elephants, the horses and all the chariots and all that kind of stuff and etc. all the vehicles ਦਾਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਉਪਕਾਰ ਨਾ ਕੀਤਾ. They didn't do seva of anyone. They obtained all the material things, but they didn't assist anyone with anything. ਦਾਤੇ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਕੇ ਵਿਕਾਰ ਕਲੇਸ਼ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਚ ਖਚਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. So they got lost in vikar instead. They got lost in kalesh instead. They got lost in jor and zulm instead. ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਆਸ਼ਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਗੈਰ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਨਿਰਹਲ ਡੂੰਘਾ ਹੈ. ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਬੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਵਿਘਨ ਨਾ ਪਵੇ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਸੁੱਖਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੋਹਤ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਲੱਗੀ ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਓ ਇਹ ਹਸਤੀ ਘੋੜੇ beautiful lines so falling in love with naam that is the hathi and that is the ਘੋੜੇ so ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਹਾਥੀ ਘੋੜੇ ਸਮਝੇ ਸਾਚੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਹਮ ਤੁਮ ਸਿਓ ਜੋਰੇ ਅਵਰ ਸੰਗ ਤੋਰੀ here we've broken the love with the data, but we've attached to the data. Sachi Preet hum tum se jodi. Madhav Maharaj, thade na preet jodi a, tum se jore, thade na jor ke avar sange tori, hunna na tori a. Sange na chala se tera tana. Swell thing going anywhere with you. Why are you putting so much energy and thought process into anxiety or depressive episodes, into contemplating what's happened or thinking about what's going to happen? Sotami, the Kotambar Baneta, all these rishtedar that we think are ours, what are we talking about? Like all these relationships is really nothing. The support of humans was that 15th Astpadi man ke take with hi sab jaan devan ko ek bhagwan. So sot meet kutamb aro banita in te kaho ho tum kavan sanatha in to ki sukh paya tusi ki what are you going to obtain? Who's going to give you salvation out of these? Raj rang maya bisthar. So in te kaho ho kamne chotkar. So from this pleasures of maya in te keda chotkara hoya. Tell me who's been liberated by falling into maya. Aso hasti ratha savari jhootha downfall. This whole hypocrisy jhoot here. This whole pasara is jhoot. The one that expands on this pasara is jhoot as well. Jene diye tis bujhe na begana. Jene, the one who, Bhagavad right straight, Vaheguru Guru Parmeswar Ji, that's what we're talking about. Diye has given bakshe, has gifted. Teso dam tinnanu, Vaheguru Ji nu. Bujha understands, bujhda na nahi, begana. Begana hunda duja, besamaj, other, stranger, ignorant. Besamaj. How do you translate this as ignorant? ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ, the one that lacks understanding. But begana, someone that's not yours, someone that's a other, a stranger as well. ਜਿਹਨੇ ਦੀਏ ਤੇ ਸੋ ਬੁਝੇ ਨਾ begana. Vaheguru Guru Parmeswar Ji has gifted all items, but the ignorant human doesn't recognize Vaheguru Ji as the giver. ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਰਾਜ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ ਹਨ। ਬੇਸਮਝ ਮਨੁੱਖ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਦਾਤਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ। ਦਾਤੇ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਵਿਸਰਿਆ ਦਾਤਾਰਾ, ਜਾਣੈ ਨਾਹੀਂ ਮਰਣੋਂ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਵਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਗੁਲਾਮ ਜਮਦੂਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਰਾਮ ਉੱਪਰ ਆਇਆ। ਦੇਵਨਹਾਰ ਦਾਤਾਰ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦਾ। ਭਾਰੇ ਭੋਈ ਅਕਿਰਤ ਘਣ ਮੰਦੀ ਹੂੰ ਮੰਦੇ, ਅਕਿਰਤ ਘਣ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ। That means ਅਕਿਰਤ ਘਣ, not recognizing, not being appreciative, not being in gratitude, not thanking Maharaj, not thanking the giver. ਅਕਿਰਤ ਘਣ। ਜਿਹਨੇ ਦੀਏ ਤਿਸ ਬੁਝੇ ਨਾ ਬੇਗਾਨਾ, ਨਾਮ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਛਤਾਨਾ। ਨਾਮ ਬਾਣੀ ਜੀ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ, to forget, to abandon, ਵਿਸਾਰ ਕੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਪਛਤਾਨਾ, regret, suffering। ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ stating ਪਛਤਾਉਂਦਾ, ਪਛਤਾਨਾ। The foolish person forgets Vaheguru Ji and suffers by attaching on to wealth, friends, a wife, a son, relatives, royal pleasures, horses, elephants, and grand rides. ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਫਰਮਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਮੂਰਖ ਧਨ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਇਸਤਰੀ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਸੰਬੰਧੀਆਂ ਰਾਜ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਹਾਥੀ ਘੋੜੇ ਜਹਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਵਾਰੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਸਰੂਪ ਤੁਰ ਕੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਸਾਰ ਕੇ ਪਛਤਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਨਾਮ ਵਿਸਾਰੇ ਕਰੇ ਰਸ ਭੋਗ, ਸੁਖ ਸੁਪਨੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਨ ਮਹਿ ਰੋਗ। This is how disease arises. Sukh supane nahi. Not even in your supana is there sukh, tan meh rog, but there's disease that comes within the body. How? Naam upasare kare ras bhog. When we start enjoying the pleasures of Maya heavily, going towards that side, kare ras bhog, naam upasare, and we abandon and we forget Naam. ਸੋ ਸੰਗ ਨ ਚਾਲ ਸੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਧਨਾ, ਤੂੰ ਕਿਆ ਲਪਟਾਵੇ ਮੂਰਖ ਮਨਾ। ਇਹ ਮੂਰਖ ਮਨਾ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੋਚ, what are you contemplate, what are you doing? It's not going with you. ਠੀਕ ਆ, do work really hard, do your thing, don't get caught up in the thought process of it. ਸੁਤ ਮੀਤ ਕਟੰਬ ਅਰ ਬਨਿਤਾ, ਇੰਤੇ ਕਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਵਨ ਸੁਨਾਥਾ। Moving on to relationships as well. राज रंग माया विस्तार, इनते कहो कवन छुटकार। Moving on to the pleasures of Maya. And then aso hasti rath asvari, the chariots, the kore hathi. We could take that at asvari, we could take about modern cars and modern vehicles and all that type of stuff. Jhootha na ho jhoot pasari. It's all falsehood. getting caught up in this, if we're especially pulling away from Nam, uh, and creating the illusion that these are very pleasurable, and getting lost in this uh, downfall, this show that we put on. जिन्हें दिए तिस बुझे ना बेगाना, नाम बिसारे नानक पछताना। बेसन नहीं समझदा, जिन्हें महाराज ने दातां बख्शियां आ, नाम बिसारे नानक पछताना। Um, we forget Vaheguru Ji, this foolish person, by attaching on to all these things that Maharaj has talked about in this body here. So Gur Prasad, Top Prasad, Sant Prasad, that was the fifth body. Ghose Salo ko ਸਾਥ ਨ ਚਾਲੈ ਬਿਨੁ ਭਜਨ ਵਿਖਿਆ ਸਗਲੀ ਛਾਰੋ ਹਰਿ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਕਮਾਵਨਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹੋ ਧਨ ਸਾਰੋ ਆਸਟ ਪਦੀ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕਰਹੁ ਵਿਚਾਰੋ ਏਕੋ ਸਿਮਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰੋ आवरे पाव सब मीत बिसार हो चरण कमल हृदम और तार हो करन कारण सो प्रभु समराथो दृढ़ो कारे गहो नाम हरे वाथो एहो तानो संच हो वो भगवंत संत जना का निर्मल मंत एक आस राख हो मन माहे ਸਰਬ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਿਟ ਜਾਹੇ ਜਿਸੋ ਧਨ ਕਉ ਚਾਰੇ ਕੁੰਟ ਉਠ ਧਾਵਹਿ ਸੋ ਧਨ ਹਰਿ ਸੇਵਾ ਤੇ ਪਾਵਹਿ ਜਿਸੋ ਸੁਖ ਕਉ ਨਿਤ ਬਾਛਹਿ ਮੀਤ ਸੋ ਸੁਖ ਸਾਧੂ ਸੰਗ ਪਰੀਤੇ ਜਿਸੋ ਸੋਭਾ ਕਉ ਕਰਹਿ ਭਲੀ ਕਰਨੀ सा शोभा भाजो हर की सरनी अनेक उपावी रोग न जाए रोग मिटाए हर आव खादो लाए सर्ब निदान मह हर नाम निदानो जपे नानक दरगह परवानो मानो प्रबोध हो हर कहना है दह दिस धावत आवै ठाए ता कहो बिघ्न न लागै कोय जाकै हृदय बसै हरे सोए काले ताती ठांडा हरे नाव सिमरे सदा सुख पाओ भौ बिन सै पूरन होए आस भगत पाए आत्म परगास ते तो घर जाए बसै अबेनासी कहो नानक काटी जम फासी तत्व विचार कह जनो साचा जन्म मरै सो काचो काचा आवा गवन मिटै प्रभ सेवा पुत्यागे सरने गुरदेव यो रतन जन्म का हुए उदारो हरे हरे सिमरे प्राण आधारो अनेको पाव न छूटन हारे सिमरते शास्त्र वेद विचारे हर की भगत करहो मन लाए मन बंछत नानक फल पाए संग न चाल से तेरा तना तू क्या लपटाव है मूर्ख मना सोत मीत कुटम्बर बनेता इन ते कहो तुम कब न सना था राज रंग माया बेसथार इन ते कहो कब न छुटकार आसो हस्ती रथ असवारी झूठा डांफो झूठो पासारी जिन्हें दिए तिस बुझे ना बेगाना नाम बिसारे नानक पछोताना and today गुर की मत तू ले है आने भगत बिना बहुत डूबे सियाने ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਲੈਣਾ ਕਰ ਭਗਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੁਰ ਪਏ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਏ ਆ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰੋ ਮਨ ਮੀਤ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਤਮਾਰੋ ਚੀਤ ਹੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੋ ਹੇ ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਆਫ ਮਾਈ ਮਾਈਂਡ निर्मल होय तुम्हारो चीत, हर की भगति करो, भगति करना करो, प्रेमा भगति करो। Your चित, your चीत, where you remember, where depression resides, ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਿਓਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਮਿਟ ਜਾਊਗਾ। Not only from this life, चरण कमल राखो हो मन माहे, गुर शब्द रूपी चरण कमल राखो मन माहे। जन्म जन्म के किल बिख जाहे, the sins from जन्म जन्म ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੁਰ ਪੈਣਗੇ, ਉਹ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ। So not only healing in this life of your chit, healing from जन्म जन्म। आप जपहो अवरा नाम जपावहो। ਆਈ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਓ, ਆਪ ਜਪੋ। all the cells within your body ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ। people will take it from you and jap it as well। ਸੁਨਤ ਕਹਤ ਰਹਤ ਗਾਤੇ ਪਾਵ ਹੋ। ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੰਤਰ, ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੰਤਰ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੰਤਰ। ਰਹਤ ਦੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, living in the code of conduct of ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ, living in the code of conduct of ਨਾਮ। ਸੁਨਤ ਕਹਤ ਰਹਤ ਰਹਿਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਗਾਤੇ ਭਾਵ ਹੋ ਮੁਕਤੀ ਪਾਲੋ, ਜਾਂ ਗਾਤੇ ਐਜ਼ ਇਨ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ, ਅਵਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਜੀ ਭਾਵ ਹੋ। ਸਾਰ ਭੂਤ ਸਾਤੇ ਹਰ ਕੋ ਨਾਉ, ਸਹਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ। the essence, the ਸਾਰ ਭੂਤ, the ਤਤ, ਸਾਤੇ ਹਰ ਕੋ ਨਾਉ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾਮ ਆ, this is the form, the essence form, the ultimate form, the shreshth form। ਸਹਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ। and through a vastav sahaj, through a vastav taka, with Brahm Gyan, through the lens of calm, through the lens of patience, through the lens of knowledge, Gurmat, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ। So just reviewing last week, sange na chala se tera tana, tu kya laptav he murkh mana, he murkh mana, why greedy person? For the accumulation of wealth, why do you consistently latch on to hurting others, poisoning others, killing others? This wealth will not go with you when you die। Sot, meat, kutamb, arobaneta। So here aap ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ, ਸੁੱਤ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, meat friend, ਕੁਟੰਬ family, baneta wife। ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਵਨ ਸਨਾਥਾ। Tell me, how can you, just has anyone ever been truly granted safety or comfort or salvation from these relatives or their wife or their son or their friends? So none of these people can provide you with salvation. Only Nam can give you salvation। Raj, Rang, Maya, Bisthar, this vast kingdom of Maya, luxurious beds, engaging in immoral acts, watching films, listening to filthy songs, consuming intoxicants, indulging in this vast kingdom of Maya, Raj, in the rungs of it, in this Maya, the Visthar, the expansion of it. Inte kaho, kavana chotakar. Tell me who has ever attained liberation through these, through the pleasures of the world. No one has ever attained pleasure, has ever attained liberation through the pleasures of the senses। In fact, when you fall into the if you fall into the vices of these senses, into the tastes of these senses, they in fact grow। Aso, hasti, rath asavari, aso, kode, horses, hasti, hathi, ratho, chariot, asavari। Asavari is the act of riding, or the vehicle that, or the animal that is used for riding। So hathi, kode, chariots, all types of vehicles। Jhootha dampho, jhootho pasari, the one, this whole dump, this whole falsehood, this whole show is jhoot। And so is the pasari, the one that expands this illusion of showing off all these material things that they've accumulated. Ovi false, yeah. Why? Because when you fall into showing what you have and what you've been gifted with, you forget the one that gave the gift, and you fall into the gift, and you get caught up in this illusion. It's not real। Jene diyete subhojana begana, and like Maharaj says here, the one that gave it, Guru Parmeshwar Ji, that has gifted all these items, the ignorant human doesn't recognize it। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੁੱਝਦਾ ਇਹ ਆਨਾ ਹਨਾ ਬੇਗਾਨਾ uh, Besamaj jehda this ignorant person doesn't recognize Vaheguru Ji as the giver. They fall into the gifts. Naam bisare nanak pachotana. And then what happens is the foolish person forgets Maharaj, forgets Naam, gets caught on to all these items and suffers by attaching onto these items: the wealth, the friends, the wife, the son, the relatives, the royal pleasure, the horses, the elephants, the grand rides. Um, so naam bisare, phir naam jehda bhul janda a. And how, if we're in these stages, how do we go back? Well, if we reverse this order, let's fall back into naam, right? Falling back into ਨਾਮ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਆਪਣੇ ਚਿੱਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਟਿਕਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ, the place of where we remember, the place of memory, um, putting naam into that and slowly washing away the filth, the depressive episodes of this life and the shocks that we've had throughout this life. And wherever that may trauma be stored, it be stored in the brain, it be stored in the body. Using Nam to do that and vibrating with a Nam. So even doing it out loud, whereas then it vibrates the body, it changes the cellular structure. And then as we get more sucham, as we get more break, even quietly doing Nam and putting it in our sarta and cleansing de sabun lagya hotoe, right? ਭਰੀਏ ਮਾਤੇ ਪਾਪਾ ਕਹਿ ਸੰਗੇ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਨਾਮ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧੋਣਾ, ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਧੋਈ ਜਾਣਾ, ਚਿੱਤ ਨੂੰ ਧੋਣਾ, and using the intellect of Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji, using the wisdom of Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji, which is to japa naam and the many things that come along with it, that we're going through all these jewels of Sukhmani Sahib that we're learning, and putting naam into the chitta and cleansing the chitta. And then not only for this lifetime, once we're, I can't say once that's been cleaned, but in Maharaj, who knows how Maharaj works, but that's one thing to be cleaned. And then janam janam ke kelbe khajahe, a janma de the sins from many lives start erasing. Gurka sabd kata kot karm, shabd is samrat to cut our karma. And this is what we need to fall into. So let's start today. Gorki mate tu leh and beautifully said, Maharaj speaking to us very beautifully said, Guru Sahib Ji, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, ki di av mate. Mate means gurmat, mate meaning wisdom, mate meaning the intellect, the understanding of Guru Sahib Ji. Tu, you, leh, take, accept, lena kar, eane meaning anajan, the one who does not know. We can say ignorant, we can say besamaj. So gorki mate tu lehe eane. And what is besamaj? Besamaj is our intellect. Besamaj is anytime we're away from Nam, anytime we're falling into anxiety, depression, anytime when the mind is traveling and taking the pleasures of the senses without focusing on Nam, this is the state of Besamaj. This is the state of a person who is anjan, who does not understand. And obviously, once again, all this is on a spectrum. Mahapurushas are the ones Baba Harnam Singh Jis of the world that have got in their concentration to such briki. That Shabad has taken a hold. Shabad is a pillar of their mind now, and Shabad has taken a hold, and they're with the Prakash Swarup, and they're one. Their Surti is fully absorbed. Their Chit is cleansed to such a degree that it only has Naam flowing out of it. And that's why when you go around these individuals, their whole aura, their whole energy is like that, because they are in the presence of Anhad, they're in the presence of Prakash, and they have realized they're in the presence of this, and that's why they give these gifts when you go around people like this as well. They hook it up, they hook things up. So Gorki Mate Tu Leh Eane, and Guru Granth Sahib Ji obviously is the one that gives all this, gives these gifts to these Mahapurushas for them to even pass it along to the world. So we're here with our Guru, looking at our Guru, writing, understanding, putting it into our intellect, trying to cleanse our own chitta. So Gur ki mate tu leh aane, O ignorant one, take Guru Granth Sahib Ji's wisdom, which removes ego, which removes vice, and teaches to embrace prema bhakti, loving devotional worship, humility, patience, and Brahm Gyan. ਸੋ ਹੇ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਬੇਸਮਝ ਤੂੰ ਬਲਿਓ ਚਰਾਗੋ ਅੰਧਿਆਰ ਮਹਿ ਸਭ ਕਲ ਉਦਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਮ ਧਰਮ ਸੋ all this ਕਲਯੁਗ ਇਹ ਉਦਰੂਗਾ ਨਾਮ by through the religion through the faith of ਨਾਮ ਅਬ ਕਲੁ ਆਇਓ ਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਮ ਬੋਵੋ Kaljug has come sow the seed of Naam. Nothing's beyond Naam. The biggest religion हर सब धर्म है श्रेष्ठ धर्म हर को नाम जापे निर्मल कर्म नाम is the biggest religion ਪ੍ਰਗਟੋ ਸਗਲ ਹਰੇ ਭਵਨ ਮਹਿ ਜਨੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹੰਗਤਾ ਵਿਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਤਿਆਗ ਭਾਉ ਭਗਤੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਗਰੀਬੀ ਸਹਿਣਸ਼ੀਲਤਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਲੈਣਾ ਕਰ ਸੋ ਹੇ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਬੇਸਮਝ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਵਿਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਤਿਆਗ ਭਾਉ ਭਗਤੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਗਰੀਬੀ ਸਹਿਣਸ਼ੀਲਤਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨ ਬਖਸ਼ਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਲੈਣਾ ਕਰ O ignorant person, take on Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj's wisdom, which removes, eradicates ego, takes out vices, and teaches us to embrace prema bhakti, shanshilta, gribi, brahmgyan. So, Gur ki mate tu leh ane. Because when we don't do this, and if we in our past lives, if we haven't done this, the next line is the state that we're kind of in, or we're trying to get out of, or where we've come from, maybe to some degree. Bhagate bina bahut dubbe se aane. Bhagate meaning devotional worship. You could say prema bhakti. Bhagati very straight prema bhakti. Bhagate itself means worship. Bhagavad always translate this kind of like the stylistic of Prema Bhakti. It's not just Bhakti, it's not hot Bhakti, it's not like with jor, it's with loving devotion. So devotional worship, bina without, baho many, dubbe meaning dobage, drowned, seane. Panka jo moh paga nahi challa, hum dekha, that dubi that people get lost in sort of like the quicksand of attachment and they kind of drown. So bhagate bina without loving devotion, bahut dubbe siane. Siane meaning wise ones, learned people, siane jade people of various mats we can say as well, that get caught up in ritualistic practices and forget the practice of the spiritual practice of Nam. Bhagate bina bahut dubbe siane. So Gur ki mate tu leh aane. Understand Guru Sahib Ji's mat. Maharaj has given us part of the 4 parts of the brain. One of the parts is the intellect. Let's use that to understand this and write and grasp what Maharaj is saying. And let's jap naam and put it so deep that it goes into the utmost depth in our chit as well. And it reaches the depth where it starts cleansing the chit. And when we jap naam, the thoughts of depressive episodes disappears, but what's left is naam. So, bhagate bina bahut dubbe se ane. Without the loving devotion of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, many wise people have drowned in the vices of the world. So Bhagavad expands on this. So here I wrote this in kind of the notes section if you guys want to write this. So taking evil spirits out of people, wearing threads and lockets, calling upon evil forces to alter things going on in one's life. So ਧਾਗੇ ਤਵੀਰ ਟੂਣੇ ਟਾਣੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਹਨਾ ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਧਾਗੇ ਤਵੀਤ ਟੂਣੇ ਕਰਨ ਭੂਤ ਕੱਢਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਰੂਪੀ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਰੂਪੀ ਜਲ 'ਚ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਏ ਹਨ I remember when I first got into Sikhi, I used to hang out with these babbe, and the older brother of this baba, He used to take ghosts out of people. I did not know how to read Gurmukhi at that time. I was newly just started growing my hair. I wasn't even a Murtari then. I just started hanging out with these guys. And then there was this guy, um, his eyes started rolling back. We were at this house in the evening once. His eyes started rolling back, and I sort of grabbed him and I sort of put him on the ground. And I went and I called. The cool Bobby there. So I went and I called him. I go, yo, this guy's his eyes are rolling back like something's going on. So their Sangat was sitting there and he came and he slapped him. He's like, who are you? Who are you? What's going on? And so Baba told me after, he goes, I'm going to teach you. And he showed me a Granth. And I wouldn't be able to even tell you what it was like, but it had all these spells, I believe, on it. And he said, I'm going to teach you all this so you can do this type of work. But now, if I look back at it now or even later, I would say that that person probably had schizophrenia, right? So after going and staying with Pagaji and Pagaji teaching me Gurmukhi and Gurbani and uh, having the chance to read, various parts of Bhai Gurdas Ji, Sri Dasam's Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji, some of our historical texts, parts of everything that Bhagaji, because when I was with Bhagaji, I was just writing. He just made me write on the computer. And he would tell me what to write, and I would write, and then in Gurmukhi, in Punjabi, and then he would tell me to erase this, delete this, add this, and he had all these grants there, and we would just open up different grants. Ishar Micromedia had come out, I believe, a little bit after that time, or maybe I stayed with them a couple of years in Montreal. Maybe it came out the second year, I'm not sure. I remember they were working on the things in India were working on it at that time. Apne Rade Sahib wale things. And but that time we had Pothiyan, so we would look at Gurbani Paath Darpan, and we look at Mahan Kosh was a huge resource for us. The physical actual texts of it. Um, so Hipagji writing all this, like, this kind of hits home to me in the sense of not getting caught up in all these sort of practices, but instead jumping Nam and allowing Nam to heal everything. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਭਗਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਧਾਗੇ ਤਵੀਤ ਟੂਣੇ ਕਰਨ ਭੂਤ ਕੱਢਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੰਸਾਰੀ ਰੂਪੀ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਰੂਪੀ ਜਲ 'ਚ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਏ ਹਨ. So without the loving devotion of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, many wise people have drowned in the vices of the world. So once again, some of those vices taking spirits out of people, wearing threads and lockets, wearing thagge on your ankles and all that kind of stuff, and even doing tikke and all, like in najar na lag jave. I see people doing this when I have the chance to work and capture weddings. I see people doing kale tikke on people's ears, behind their ears, and najar na lag jave. And all these type of things. Moving away from money, right? So Gorki mate tu lehe ane bhagate bina bahut dubbe siane. And then Maharaj goes back to tell Siddhu Bhagati, Har ki bhagate karo man meet. Hare Vaheguru Ji ki di av bhagati devotional worship karho, do, karna karo man, mind, meet a friend, mitra. So you guys got that? Har ki bhagate devotional worship karho man meet. So O Gursekho, dear friends of my mind, Manmeet, mere man de mittar, hey mere man de meet, pyare Gursekho. So, O Gursekho, dear friends of my mind, Manmeet, har ki bhagate karho, Manmeet, right? So, ऐसे बिस्माद वाहिगुरु महले पंजवें जी दी प्रेमा भगति मन ला के करना करो. So, O Gursekho, dear friends of my mind, practice loving devotion, devotional worship of Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji with your mind fully engaged. Har ki bhagate karo man meet. And through this, your chit will become nirmala. So Gorki mate tu lehe eane. Take Maharaj's eane besamaj, the one that doesn't understand. lost in the senses, the one that's been running for many lifetimes, the one that doesn't sit still even in this lifetime. ਭਗਤ ਤੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੁੱਬੇ ਸਿਆਣੇ, many wise ones have drowned, ਛੱਡ ਦੇ ਸਿਆਣਪਾ, ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰੋ ਮਨਮੀਤ। My friends of my mind, ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੋ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਰੋ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਰੋ। निर्मल होए तुम्हारो चीत, निर्मल pure उज्जल होए becomes होए तुम्हारो, your आप जी दा चीत, your mind, chit. So by doing the above bhakti, your mind will become free from the impurities of ego, hatred, jealousy, slander, theft, and evil deeds. Your mind will become the form of Vaheguru Ji, meaning ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕਮਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਓਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੀਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਓਗੇ। ਹੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਮੀਤ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖੋ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਚੀਤ ਹੰਕਾਰ, ਵੈਰ, ਈਰਖਾ, ਨਿੰਦਾ, ਚੋਰੀ, ਮੰਦ ਕਰਮ, ਔਗਣਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਲ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਉਜਲ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਸਰੂਪ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। कबीर मनो निर्मल भया जैसा गंगा नीरो, पाछा लागो हर फिरै, कहत कबीर कबीर। So निर्मल होए तुम्हारो चीत, तुम्हारो, emphasis on the mamma there. So when you see a halanta like that, the mamma, you pronounce it kind of with double strength. So instead of saying tomorrow, you say tomorrow. Um, so Gorki Mate, ਤੂੰ ਲੇਹ ਆਨੇ, ਭਗਤੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੂਬੇ ਸਿਆਨੇ, ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤੇ ਕਰੋ ਮਨ ਮੀਤ। The reason to do it is nirmal hoy tumharo cheet, your chit will become nirmal, it will become pure. Your depression will go away, um, by doing bhakti. Charan kamala rakho man mahe. And charan kamal meaning, charan meaning feet, kamal meaning the flower, lotus flower. So lotus feet, we can say, or lotus-like feet. And when we say charan kamal, we're talking about Gurbani. We're talking about Gurshabd. Charan Kamala. Or we could literally be talking about Guru Sahib's Charan Kamala too. Rakho, keep, rakho, man, mind, mahe, within. Right? Charan Kamala, lotus-like feet, rakho, keep, rakhna karo, man, mahe, within your mind. Always remember the lotus-like feet, meaning Gurshabds of Guru Parmeshwar Ji within your mind. ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਸ਼ਬਦ ਰੂਪੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਮਿੱਠੇ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ। ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰੱਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ। And when you start keeping gurshabds within your mind, and when you start repeating, and when you start singing, and when you start repeating, and when you start jumping, and when you actually start doing this, a few things happen. The mind is not free anymore, and the mind cannot think whatever it wants. Now you're telling it what to do. And obviously this takes time, right? You might jump with your tongue and your mind's not going to catch it. Your mind might be running in some depressive episodes or some futuristic anxiety provoking episodes or wherever it may be, running where you don't want it to run. But the more you japa this shabad, or if you, for example, if you're doing Mool Mantra jap, right? If you're going to do Mool Mantra jap and you're jumping Mool Mantra, you do it for 4 or 5 hours a day, you're doing it. This is what you're doing. This is your practice. Or you take any particular shabad and you're jumping it throughout the day. When you have time, you're actually sitting and doing it. When you're walking around, you're working. Maybe you're working, you're doing it in your mind. Or if you can, that's cool too. Whenever you get a chance, whenever you in the shower, whatever you're doing, brush your teeth, whatever you're doing, you're jumping it, right? You're jumping your mantra, whatever it is Vaheguru mantra, if it's Mool mantra, if it's some Gurbani, you're jumping it. Eventually, what's going to happen is uh, it's going to take a hold of your mind, and it's going to grow. And the power of your mind just running off whenever it wants is going to decrease. And now Instead of thinking of depressive episodes and getting into a vikalpa about it and getting into a story about it, or anxiety provoking episodes and thinking about it and then thinking, oh man, if this happens, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, you're hurting your body. Your heartbeat's moving faster, and you know maybe your palms are sweating, and maybe you feel kind of locked in your chest, or maybe your shoulders are a little bit higher than they should be, and you know all that kind of stuff. So physically, it's taking a toll on you. Um, but when you jump money and you jump it, it's going to start replacing those thoughts. It's going to start cutting those thoughts. And as you keep jumping money, as you keep jumping money, it's going to overpower, eventually it's going to overpower those thoughts. And your chitta is going to become clean of these thoughts. And then with the wisdom, putting the intellect, that understanding that this is temporary, you've been gifted this body for a little while. Tu japan ayo sunan padan ko bani, only here for a short time in this particular body. And so once you start jumping nam and you start flowing with it, you start realizing that, you know what, this is, it's going to start taking over the man, and when the Indre get lost in their indulgences, it'll start taking control over that. It'll start decreasing. And it's a gradual process. Well, actually, I can't even say that. Sometimes it happens, Mara Kripa, it might happen. Who knows how Maharaj works? You know, when it wants to, when it's going to work, when it's not going to work. Uh, if you keep doing it, it'll eventually work. Um, in the sense of when it fully takes over the mind. That's, I mean, that they, that's our job. That's our job here to Japanam. That's why we've been born. That's why we've come here. Uh, and we have to take care of ourselves while we're here, in the sense of like sansari, चीज़ें करनी है, like you have to make a living, you know, you're gonna have a family if you decide to go that route, if you decide to have kids, whatever decisions you make. End of the day, we're here to Japanam. And as we keep jumping now, it's going to take over the antakan. It's going to take over the mind. It's going to take over the chet. It's going to get very deep. It's going to start taking over different parts of your mind. It's going to start relaxing your body. Maybe your shoulders might, that are tense, they might kind of start dropping, right? Maybe the butterflies that you get in your stomach or in your chest, maybe they might start going away. Maybe you'll notice a change in your breath as you start jumping numb, right? As you start getting more relaxed. So always remember the lotus-like feet of the Guru Shabds of Guru Parmeshwar Ji with your mind. So Gorki Mate to Lehe Ane, take on the Guru Sahib Ji's Mate, and the understanding that this is temporary. You're only here for a little bit. ਤੇ ਆਈਏ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਹਰੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਸਤਾ ਕਾ ਕਹਾ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਰੀ. When you're only in this for a little, for a kadi, you're only here for a short time. Why would you do soch? Why would you worry? Why would you andesa? Why would you have anxiety? Why would you think of the future? Why would you worry? You're only this for a little while. ਤੇ ਆਈਏ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਦਾ ਹਰੀ. Do ਧਿਆਨ of your hari. Do what you came to do. So Gorki Mate tu lehe eane. So take that matan. Bhagate bina bahut dube seane. Without bhakti bahut seane dub gaya. Har ki bhagate karo man meet. Hey Gur Sikho, the friends of my mind. Bhagati karna karo. Nirmal hoy tamaro cheet. Your chit. When you remember, that will become pure. You will stop having these depressive episodes. Charana kamala rakho man mahe. Keeping Guru Shabd, Gurbani within your mind. Always try to do this. Then what will happen once you start keeping this within your mind? So this is, we're going from the Chitta to the mind, expanding it to the whole mind. Janam janam ke kilabek jahe. Janam meaning birth. Janam meaning birth. Ke de of kilabek, poisonous sins. Pap jahe, go away. Chale jange. By which sins of lifetimes will go away. Ek janma janma di gal liya. Mara Satta, we've been here before. We may come again. And that's okay. Uh, just changing your body and just familiar relationships will change, and that's okay. If you're gonna have kids in the next life, or if you're not gonna have kids, if you're gonna be married, if you're gonna be whatever you're gonna come back as, it's okay. And Mara Kirpa is Mara Pana. Tera kiya meetha laga hare naam padarat ho nanak ko mange. Whatever you do, Maharaj, I find sweet. Just give me a naam. let me not leave Naam, right? So then after that, it's like, Maharaj, wherever you keep me, Shukram Maharaj Thwada, Hana? Just give me Naam. So Janam Janam ke Kelbek Jahe. So Janam Janam ke Paap Chale Jange. So all these paps will go away. How? Charan Kamal, meaning Gurbani, Rakho Man Mahe. Keep it in you. And if you jape, if you start japping it, if you start japping Bani, if you start japping Vaheguru Mantra, if you start japping Mool Mantra, it will eventually stay within you. That's how you do it. Chanakamal Rakho Man Mahe. How do you rock it within the mind? Well, you keep jumping it, and the more you jump it, your tongue is going to get tired. Your mind will pick up when your tongue gets tired, possibly. It eventually will, even if it doesn't in the beginning. Your mind will start picking it up and start jumping it. And that's how some of these Mahapurushas, they say, you know what, they did 150 Japji Sahibs a day. Well, they did it through their surti, right? If we do Japji Sahib, it probably takes us 8-10 minutes. They finish a Japji Sahib like in a minute or so. Like they're so if you focus here, let's do this practice right now. And very, very good thing to try. Um, so I'm gonna jump Mool Mantar, and then I want you guys to jump it out loud too. And then I want you to use your sorti and jump it. And we'll jump it slow and we'll jump it fast. And then you can see if your focus can stay attuned to it while it moves fast. And you can use your breath in the sense of you can breathe out one time fully and do Mool Mantar. Or if it gets even deeper than that, you could just straight go to Sorti and just flow with it and let your breath flow where it may. But let's do this. Ek Onkar Satnam Karta Purkho Nirpao Nirvair Akal Murat Ajuni Saipang Gur Prasad Japo Ade Sacho Jugade Sacho Happy Sacho Nanak Hosi Pi Sacho. Now take like 10 seconds and do it within you slowly. Now try to do it fast with your sarti. Just listen quick. Gur prasade, tau prasade, sant prasade. So there's something called body somatics. It's a therapy, and within body somatics, um, the person who created this body somatics, I mean, they say trauma is stored in the body, and so one of the things that they do is they hum, and I'll tell you what they hum, and you'll be kind of surprised maybe. And so what they say, what you need to do is you need to shake your vagus nerve. Uh, and so what they do is they say something, what they say is woo. And what they do is they shake their body and they say that trauma is stored in the body. And when you do this, it's sort of like animals in nature, when a lion is hunting a deer and the deer gets away, naturally you'll see the deer shake its body and it'll take all that out of its body, and then it could go back to, it's not stuck in fight or flight, it's not stuck in that episode that the lion just chased me, and it doesn't stay stuck in the trauma, in that traumatic event that took place of a lion chasing it. It releases that energy and then it goes back. So we have something called Vaheguru Mantra, right? So when we jump it out loud, it changes the frequency within our body. It changes a lot of things within our body. And then eventually, as you get more barik, it goes into the surt. And when it goes into the surt, it starts cleansing the chitta, it starts cleansing the mind, starts cleansing everything. So this is a beautiful way to practice. Vaheguru mantra is extremely beautiful. It's an extremely powerful mantra to practice. Is Gurprasad. So, Janam Janam ke kilvik jahe, by which many sins of many lifetimes will go away. ठीक है जी. आप जप हो, अवरा नाम जपाव हो. So, I have my own understanding of this in the sense of this goes very deep, I think. Uh, But yeah, oh loving friends, repeat Vaheguru Naam and assist others to repeat it as well. Hey ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਮ ਜੀ, ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਆਪ ਜਪੋ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. So ਆਪ yourself ਜਪੋ, repeat or recite, ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ. ਅਵਰਾ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, others, ਨਾਮ meaning ਨਾਮ, ਜਪਾਵੋ, make others chant, ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. Right? So ਆਪ ਜਪੋ, Avara Naam Japav. What do these lines mean to me? This would be a beautiful place to write some of this. So just to share some of my thoughts on this. Aap Japaho. When you, through Maharaj, this is, once again, it's a gift. It's a gift. If you start jumping, it's a gift. First and foremost. No one has the ability, jorna surte gyane vichare, jorna yukti chota sansar, jiswate joro kare vekhe soy na kutamani chuna ko. Maharaj, it's a gift. ਪਿਆਲਾ ਖਾਂ ਸੁਕਾ ਜੈ ਪਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਜਪਾਏ ਸੋ ਜਪੇ ਸੋ ਨਾ ਹਨਾ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਜਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਆਪ ਜਪੋ meaning and once again this it could be many meanings here but aap japna karo avara naam japavo and when you start jumping many cells in your body will take that on and start jumping as well because not only are you an atma, you have many cells within your body that are living organisms and they all have atmas, right? Everything is alive and well. Everything is this form of prakash. And once you start jumping nam, those cells come into alignment and they start jumping nam. One. Aap japaho vra naam japaho. So japa nam yourself and assist others to japanam. Sit with your family, sit with your friends, sit with everyone. Aap japaho avra naam japaho. So and you could keep going, right? Gurprasad. But yeah, we'll keep it at ठीक है इथे मरा कृपा. So आप जप हो, हे मित्र प्यारे जी, ਅਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਮ ਜੀ, ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਆਪ ਜਪੋ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. And you'll see this when you're around Mahapurushas, right? You're naturally start jumping Naam. You just naturally it'll start flowing. It's because they're in the presence of Shabad. They never leave the presence of Shabad because that's why we call them like Purush. Everyone can call it Purush, but when we say Maha, the great Purushas, that's why we call them great. It's because they're attuned to Shabad. They're attuned to the Prakash. They're attuned to a japa japa hadatona. They're in the presence of Akal Purkh Ji. Akal Purkh Ji is everywhere, but they start noticing and seeing and being one with Akal Purkh Ji. That's the difference, right? So repeat Naam and assist others to repeat it as well. Sonat, kahat, rahat, gate pav ho. So sonat meaning listening, sundaya. Kahat meaning speaking, kendya. Rahat meaning living, dwelling, code of conduct. Rahat meaning reni as well. So rahat meaning to live, living, dwelling, just being. Rahat, rahat. Gate meaning liberation, kalyan. Gate meaning prapti as well, meaning becoming one with the Vaheguru Ji, Gate in that sense as well. But that's pretty much what we say when we say liberation, Gate, Gati. Pabho, obtain, attain, pona karo. So sonat, kahat, rahat, Gate pabho. By living in the conduct, by living in the rahat of repeating and listening to Naam. So Rahat, Kahat, and Sunat. So by living in the conduct of repeating and listening to Vaheguru Naam with full love, by living in the conduct of Amrit, meaning becoming Amritari, ਪੰਜ ਕਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਹਿਤ, ਚਾਰ ਬੱਜਰ ਕਰਹਿਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਣਾ, ਪੰਜ ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਰਹਿ ਰਸ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਸੌਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸੋਹਿਲੇ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨਾ. That's the conduct of Amrit. So by living in the conduct of repeating and listening to Vaheguru Naam with full love, by living in the conduct of Amrit, you will obtain salvation and become one with Vaheguru Ji. ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਪੂਰਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਹਿਤ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਪੂਰਨ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸਹਿਤ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ, ਨਾਮ ਕਹਿਣ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਉਪਰੋਕਤ ਅਤਿਅੰਤ ਸੱਚੀ ਸੁੱਚੀ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਰਹਿਤ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਵਾਹ ਔਰ ਐਂਡ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਦੀ ਪੂਰਨ ਰਹਿਤ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ. ਸੋ ਸੁਨਤ ਕਹਤ ਰਾਹਤ ਗਾਤੇ ਭਾਵ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗਤੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਵਿਖ ਜਾਊਗੇ. ਐਂਡ ਆਪ ਜਪੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਵ ਹੋ, ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. ਸੁਨਤ ਕਹਤ ਰਾਹਤ ਗਾਤੇ ਭਾਵ ਹੋ, ਸੁਣਦੇ ਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹਿਣੀ ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਮੁਕਤੀ ਪਾ ਲਵੋਗੇ. ਗੁਰਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ. Sar Put Sate Har Ko Now. Sar meaning greatest, Sresht, Asli Shuddh Sarup, greatest, the best, the Sar. The essence, the Tat of it, the best of him, the greatest. Put. So Put has many meanings. The meaning we're using here. So Put is time elapsed, meaning the time that has passed. Put is ghosts. Put is form. So we're using Put as in form, as in Sarup. So Sar Put, the greatest form. Sate, true. Sache, Hare Vaheguru Ji. Hare Ko Vaheguru Ji De. In English, you put Hare Ko together, Vaheguru Ji's. Or we can say, if you want to keep it separate, Vaheguru Ji to or of, right? Of Vaheguru Ji of now Naam. Sar Put Sate Har Ko Now. So Hare Ko, if we're going to do it in English, we would say of and now Naam. ठीक है जी. So Sar Put, Sar meaning greatest or best, Sresht, Put meaning Sarup, Har Ko Now. So Put here, time elapsed, ghost, the five evils, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. Put also means like or equal to or form. Put also means the world. Put also means person. And this is all from Mahan Kosh. Sahaj Supai Nanak Gun Gao. Sahaj, in a state of ease, in a state of saj, in a state of effortlessness, koi effort nahi hote, and utaka de vich, supai, with great sentiment or with great emotion, supai, sreshta pavana sahit supavaka. Nanak Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Maharaj Ji, Panjve Paatshah Ji, Kale Juge Jahaj Arjano Guru. Gun virtue, gun gao sing. So Panjve Paatshah farmaunde ne, Vaheguru Ji's Naam is the greatest indestructible truth. So Sar Put Sate Hare Ko Now. So Hare Ko Now is Sate and Sar Put. Vaheguru Ji's Naam is the greatest indestructible truth. Sing the virtues of Vaheguru Ji in an effortless state of calm, patience, and knowledge. Sahaj Supai, Nanak Gun Gao, Panjve Paatshah stating, Gun Gao in Sahaj Supai. Sing the virtues of Vaheguru Ji in an effortless state of calm, patience, and knowledge. ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਫਰਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਸੱਚੇ ਨਾਮ ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਸਮਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਨਾਸ ਰਹਿਤ ਸੱਚੇ ਸ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਟ ਅਸਲੀ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਸਰੂਪ ਹਨ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ, ਧਰਮ, ਧੀਰਜ, ਗਿਆਨ ਸਹਿਤ ਸਹਿਜ ਅਵਸਥਾ 'ਚ ਸ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਟ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਸਹਿਤ ਸੁਭਾਵਕ ਨਿਰਯਤਨ ਹੀ ਗਾਓ ਜੀ। ਸਹਜੇ ਚੂਪ ਸਹਜੇ ਹੀ ਜਪਨਾ, with a state of ease, सहज बिलोम हो जैसे तात तो ना जाए। ਸੋ ਜੋਗ, ਤਪ, ਜਗ, ਜਲ ਧਾਰਾ ਆਦਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕਠਿਨ ਸਾਧਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੀ। So Bhagavad Gita writes this at the end. You don't need to do any of these things. Sing Maharaj's prayer. Sing them with ease. Sing them with prem. Stay focused in Shabad. So that was that, guys. So ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਤਿ ਤੂੰ ਲਹੇ ਇਆਨੇ ਭਗਤ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੁੱਬੇ ਸਿਆਣੇ, ਭਗਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਡੁੱਬੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਅਣਜਾਣ ਬੇਸਮਝ ਤੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਲੈਣਾ ਕਰ। ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰੋ ਮਨ ਮੀਤ, ਮਨ ਦੇ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖੋ। ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰੋ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਤੁਮਾਰੋ ਚੀਤ, ਜੇ ਚਿੱਤ ਉਲਮਖਮ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰੱਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ। ਗੁਰ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਕਰੋ, ਜਿਸ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਵਿਖ ਜਾਹੇ। ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਦੇ ਪਾਪ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਆਪੇ ਜਪੋ ਅਵਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਵੋ। ਆਪ ਭਾਈ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ, ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ। ਸੁਨਤ कहत रहत गाते पाप हो। So staying in the rahat of sunat and kahat naam. So staying in the rahat of listening to and speaking naam, gate pav ho, you will get kalyani, you will get mukti. Sarput sate har ko naam, meaning naam is the greatest, it's indestructible, it's the greatest form of Vaheguru Ji, or it is. Naam is the greatest indestructible truth. Sahaj supai nanak gun gao, in a state of ease. Panjve Paatshah is saying, inu ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭਾਈ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ। ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਤੋ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਸਲੋਕ ਸਾਥ ਨ ਚਾਲੈ ਬਿਨੋ ਭਜਨ, ਵਿਖਿਆ ਸਕਲੀ ਛਾਰੋ। ਹਰ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਕਮਾਵਨਾ, ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹੋ ਧਨ ਸਾਰੋ। ਅਸਟਪਦੀ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕਰੋ ਵਿਚਾਰੋ, ਏਕੋ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰੋ। ਅਵਰਿ ਪਾਪ ਸਭ ਮੀਤ ਬਿਸਾਰੋ, ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਿਦ ਮਹਿ ਉਰ ਧਾਰੋ। ਕਰਨ ਕਾਰਨ ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰਭु ਸਮਰਥ, ਦ੍ਰਿੜੋ ਕਾਰੇ ਗਾਹੋ ਨਾਮ ਹਾਰੇ ਬਾਥੋ। ਇਹੋ ਤਨੋ ਸੰਚ ਹੋਵ ਹੋ ਭਗਵੰਤ, ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਕਾ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਮੰਤ। ਏਕ ਆਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ, ਸਰਬ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਿਟ ਜਾਹੇ। ਜੈਸੋ ਧਨ ਕੋ ਚਾਰੇ ਕੁੰਟ ਉਠੇ ਧਾਵਹਿ, ਸੋ ਤਨੋ ਹਰਿ ਸੇਵਾ ਤੇ ਪਾਵਹਿ। ਜਿਸ ਸੁਖ ਕੋ ਨਿਤ ਬਾਛਹਿ ਮੀਤ, ਸੋ ਸੁਖ ਸਾਧੂ ਸੰਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ। ਜਿਸੋ ਸੋਭਾ ਕੋ ਕਰਹਿ ਭਲੀ ਕਰਨੀ, ਸਾ ਸੋਭਾ ਭਾਜੋ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਸਰਨੀ। ਅਨੇਕੋ ਪਾਵੀ ਰੋਗ ਨ ਜਾਏ, ਰੋਗ ਮਿਟੈ ਹਰਿ ਅਵਖਾ ਦੁਲਾਏ। ਸਰਬ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਮਹਿ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਧਾਨੋ, ਜਪ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਰਗਹਿ ਪਰਵਾਨੋ। ਮਨ ਪ੍ਰਬੋਧ ਹੋ ਹਰ ਕੈ ਨਾਏ, ਦਹ ਦਿਸ ਧਾਵਤ ਆਵੈ ਠਾਏ। ਤਾ ਕੋ ਬਿਗਨ ਨ ਲਾਗੈ ਕੋਇ, ਜਾ ਕੈ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਬਸੈ ਹਰਿ ਸੋਏ। ਕਾਲੇ ਤਾਤੀ ਠਾਂਡਾ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਉ, ਸਿਮਰਿ ਸਿਮਰਿ ਸਦਾ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਉ। ਭਉ ਬਿਨ ਸੈ ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋਏ ਆਸ, ਭਗਤੇ ਪਾਏ ਆਤਮ ਪ੍ਰਗਾਸ। ਤਿਤ ਘਰ ਜਾਏ ਬਸੈ ਬਿਨਾਸੀ, ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਕਾਟੀ ਜਮ ਫਾਸੀ। ਤਤ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੈ ਜਾਨੋ ਸਾਚਾ, ਜਨਮ ਮਰੈ ਸੋ ਕਾਚੋ ਕਾਚਾ। ਆਵਾਗਮਨ ਮਿਟੈ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸੇਵ, ਆਪ ਤਿਆਗੇ ਸਰਨ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ। ਇਉ ਰਤਨ ਜਨਮ ਕਾ ਹੋਏ ਉਧਾਰੋ, ਹਰਿ ਹਰਿ ਸਿਮਰੈ ਪ੍ਰਾਨ ਆਧਾਰੋ। ਅਨੇਕੋ ਪਾਵ ਨ ਛੂਟਨ ਹਾਰੇ, ਸਿਮਰਤ ਸਾਸਤ ਵੇਦ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ। ਹਰਿ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹੁ ਮਨ ਲਾਏ, ਮਨ ਬੰਛਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਫਲ ਪਾਏ। ਸੰਗ ਨ ਚਾਲਸ ਤੇਰਾ ਧਨਾ, ਤੂੰ ਕਿਆ ਲਪਟਾਵਹਿ ਮੂਰਖ ਮਨ। ਸੁਤ ਮੀਤ ਕੁਟੰਬ ਅਰ ਬਨਿਤਾ, ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕਹਹੁ ਤੁਮ ਕਵਨ ਸਨਾਥਾ। ਰਾਜ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਬਿਸਥਾਰ, ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕਹਹੁ ਕਵਨ ਛੁਟਕਾਰ। ਆਸੋ ਹਸਤੀ ਰਥ ਅਸਵਾਰੀ, ਝੂਠਾ ਡਾਂਫੋ ਝੂਠੋ ਪਾਸਾਰੀ। ਜਿਨ ਦੀਏ ਦਿਸ ਬੁਝੈ ਨ ਬੇਗਾਨਾ, ਨਾਮ ਬਿਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਛੁਤਾਨਾ। ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਤਿ ਤੂੰ ਲੇਹ ਆਨੇ, ਭਗਤ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁ ਡੂਬੇ ਸਿਆਨੇ। ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹੁ ਮਨ ਮੀਤ, ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਇ ਤੁਮਾਰੋ ਚੀਤ। ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਾਖਹੁ ਮਨ ਮਾਹਿ, ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਬਿਖ ਜਾਹਿ। ਆਪ ਜਪਹੁ ਅਵਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਵਹੁ, ਸੁਨਤ ਕਾਹਤ ਰਾਹਤ ਗਤਿ ਪਾਵਹੁ। ਸਾਰ ਭੂਤ ਸਤਿ ਹਰਿ ਕੋ ਨਾਉ, ਸਹਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ। ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਤ ਤੇਰੀ ਉਤਰ ਅਸਿ ਮੈਲ। This is this week today. ਬਿਨ ਸਜਾਏ ਹਉ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਖੋ ਫੈਲ, ਹੋਏ ਅਚਿੰਤ ਬਸੈ ਸੁਖ ਨਾਲੇ। ਸਾਸੇ ਗਰਾਸੇ ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਸਮਾਲੇ, ਛਾੜੇ ਸਿਆਣਪ ਸਗਲੀ ਮਨਾ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗੇ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਚੋ ਤਨਾ, ਹਰੇ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਸਾਂਚੇ ਕਰਹੁ ਵਿਵਹਾਰੋ। ਇਹਾ ਸੁਖ ਦਰਗਹ ਜੈਕਾਰ, ਸਰਬ ਨਿਰੰਤਰ ਏਕੋ ਦੇਖੋ। ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਾ ਕੈ ਮਸਤਕ ਲੇਖੋ। ਸਰਬ ਨਿਰੰਤਰ ਏਕੋ ਦੇਖੋ, ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਸਤਕ ਲੇਖੋ। Reviewing last week, ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਾਤੇ ਤੂੰ ਲੇਹ ਆਨੇ। ਹੇ ਅਣਜਾਣ, ਹੇ ਮੂਰਖ ਬੰਦੇ, ਹੇ ਮੂਰਖ ਜੀਵ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੱਤ ਆ ਗੁਰਮਤ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੈਣਾ ਕਰ। by which ਹੰਕਾਰ, vices, all these things will be removed. Guru Sahib Ji's Mata teaches us to embrace prema bhakti, gribi, patience, and then leading towards Brahma Gyan. Bhakti bina bahut dubbe siane, bahut hi siane jinne bhi, a lot of clever people, a lot of wise people have drowned without the loving devotion of Gurbani, without the loving devotion of Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji. And they've drowned in many things. Tage Tvita de vich bhi, all these types of things. Har ki bhagat karho man meet. Hey, Gursekho, dear friends of my mind, Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Maharaj Ji bhakti, do it with your mind fully engaged. Har ki bhagat karho man meet. Friends of my mind, but also man using as in, you keep your mind fully engaged here as well. Nirmal hoy tumaro cheet, your chit, your mind will become the form, it'll become nirmal, it'll become pure, it'll merge with Vaheguru Ji, it'll become nirmal hoy tumaro cheet. By doing this prema bhakti, it'll become free from impurities of ego, hatred, jealousy, slander, theft, putekam, madekam, and then it will eventually merge into Vaheguru Ji. ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਏ ਤੁਮਾਰੋ ਚੀਤ, ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਾਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ। ਸੋ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਹੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਕਰੋ। ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਬਿਖ ਜਾਹੇ, ਜਿਸ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਪ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਆਪ ਜਪੋ ਅਵਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਵੋ, ਭਾਈ ਆਪ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ। ਆਪ ਜਪੋ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, all the cells in your body, make them jap naam as well. Avra naam japav, even other people make them jap as well. Other things within, beings within your body make them jap as well. Your environment make it jap as well. Everything. Aap japo, avra naam japav, sonata, kahata, rahata, gate pav. So staying in the rahat of sonata and kahata. So staying in the rahat, in the conduct, the code of conduct of Sunat and speaking Gurbani, and Kahat saying Gurbani, and Sunat listening to Gurbani. Gate Pavo, you will obtain Gati, you obtain salvation. Also living in the conduct of Amrit. So living in the conduct of repeating and listening to Vaheguru Naam with full love, by living in the conduct of Naam, Amrit, you will obtain salvation and become one with Vaheguru Ji. ਸਾਰ ਭੂਤ ਸਾਤੇ ਹਰ ਕੋ ਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਸੱਚਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਨਾਮ ਹੀ ਸਹਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ ਪੰਜਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਫਰਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ that ਨਾਮ is the greatest ਸਾਰ ਭੂਤ ਸ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਟ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ sing the virtues of ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ in an effortless state of calm patience and knowledge ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਹਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ with great affection, with great emotion, with prema bhakti, in a sahaj state, inu gauna karo. Yeah, Gur Prasad. And today we're going to start here. Gun gavat teri uttara se mailo. So gun, virtue. Gun meaning gun. Gavat, singing, gaudya. Teri, your, uttara se uttar javegi. And malo is filth, impurities, mal, dirt. Gun gavat, teri uttara se malo. Oh my mind, the filth of sin, the filth of vices, the filth of slander, the filth of stealing, and all types of negative actions will be cleansed by singing the virtues of Vaheguru Ji through Gurbani. Hey man, Guru Granth Sahib Ji ਦੇ ਕਥਾ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਮਹਾ ਪਾਪਾ ਵਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਚੋਰੀ ਯਾਰੀ ਆਦਿ ਅਨੇਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਮੰਦ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਮੈਲ ਉਤਰ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਜੀ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਤ ਤੇਰੀ ਉਤਰ ਸੇ ਮੈਲ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਿਕਾਰ ਆ it subdues depressive episodes subdue ਜੀਵ ਨਾ ਗਾਉਂਦਿਆਂ and this is why people use a mala sometimes and they say, you know what, we're going to do Sava Lakh Mool Mantar, or we're going to do a certain amount of jobs, and we're going to do it for 40 days, we're going to do it for in 2 months, or for this year I'm doing 25 Japji Sahibs a day, or whatever the goal may be. Because even though the mind might not be fully present and the mind might be occupied with worldly affairs or whatever it may be occupied with, if you start saying it with your tongue, eventually there's going to come times throughout the day when your mind will stop and start listening. So if you give yourself a task, you have a mala in your hand or a little counter in your hand, and you got to do, say, 20 malas or 17 malas of Moon Mantar for the next month or two, and you set yourself a goal, and you start jumping. Now, you know by the end of the night, you have to complete that bani. And maybe you got to go to work, and then maybe you have kids, maybe you don't, or maybe you have other priorities, whatever it may be. But you know you have to complete your malas. So you're going to jap mantar, say if it's Mool Mantar, for example. You're going to jap Mool Mantar anytime you can. Whether you're walking to work or school or sitting in a car, or you finish it right after you Nityanem, you're gonna hit it. Right before you Nityanem, you might even get up and start doing it, right? Like throughout the day you have like time, or maybe you're working but your mala still going, or your counter still going, or you're counting the amount of times you're doing it. So you're occupying your mind. So it's not running. It might be in the beginning. It might be running towards, say, some depressive episodes or things that have happened in your life, and that's fine. There's always going to be things that are going to be happening. There's always, Dukh and Sukh are going to come. It's just how we deal with it, right? So when the man gets absorbed eventually in a mantra. So for example, say your man isn't absorbed. You're just jumping with your tongue. You just keep going, keep it going, keep it going, or you're jumping with your breath just underneath your breath so no one can see what you're doing. Uh, or you're using your like you're doing something like that. You're breathing out, you're finishing a moon mantra. Maybe you're breathing in, you're doing another moon mantra. Maybe you do half a moon mantra as you breathe out, or half when you come in. And maybe you're walking and you're out of breath and you're doing it in a different way. Whatever it may be, um, you keep repeating with your tongue or with your breath, and eventually that's going to come inside where you can start doing with your mind. Your mind might be occupied in whatever it's doing. Eventually, throughout the day, if you're doing, say, 17 or 20 miles a day, there's going to come a time throughout the day when your mind's going to be tired of running around and it needs relief. Maybe your mind's thinking of a depressive episode or past episode or an anxious episode of the future, and it's going to need relief. Then it's going to fall into that Mool Mantra because you're feeding it. It might not be listening to you, but you keep jumping it with your tongue, your mouth, and you're tiring out your mouth. Yes, you are exhausting your mouth. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. There's going to come a time when your man is going to start staying present. And eventually, as you keep going for your month or 2 month practice that whatever you're doing, or for your year, up to or whatever you're doing, there's going to come a time when eventually the man will start staying present even longer. And then that grows. So gun gavat teri uttara se melo. So just to give you a practical example, start doing this, and then your filth. What is filth? The filth is the mind running. The filth is the mind running into the future. The filth is the mind running into the past. The filth is, if a fear arises, giving into the fear. That's the filth. Eventually, these things will stop. Um, it's not like the pain is going to stop. Like, for example, dukh is going to come to you, as is sukh. Sukh is also going to come to you. But I mean, they're, two of the same, same sort of coin, opposite sides. This is the same sort of thing, dukh and sukh. Um, and that's why you look at Mahapurushas, if sukh comes, they're never really excited or happy, and dukh comes, they never really get down, or you know what I mean? They're like, this too shall pass. You know what I mean? It's like they know that this is just a part of their karmic action and it's going to happen. And that's all it is. It's a karmic action that's playing out. But Gur ka sabd katta kot karma. Maharaj has gifted us with mantra. And as we repeat it, it's going to go. And eventually you're going to jump it. You're going to jump it. You might start noticing that you're waking up jumping the mantra. You're starting to sleep, falling asleep, jumping the mantra. Eventually, maybe you might even start having dreams so that you're doing the mantra. Um, so Gunagavata, Teri Uttara se man. So this is one example where your filth will, and very practical example of how your filth will go away. Bene se jaye, home beko felo. So bene se, to perish, nas hona. Uh, I didn't write them in Punjabi. This might not be the most practical way of doing it, but I'll try. Bina se jai. Jai means to go. Jai. Home means home, ego. Bekhu means poison, jahra. Um, and fellow means a spread, the expansion. Um, uh, Bhagaji also writes fellow as kartut, your action. Literally, fellow means the spread. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਫੈਲ ਜਾਵੇ, something that's spread, something that's expanding. So, benase, to perish, to be destroyed, to be naas hona, koi cheez naas ho jaye, jaye, go. Benase jaye, to be perished. Home mein, Beko, the poisonous ego, Felo, the spread of this. So by singing Gurbani ji, the poisonous spread of ego will be destroyed from within you. Arth 1. Arth 2, by singing Gurbani ji, the spread of your bad actions, now we're coming towards actions, will be destroyed alongside the poisonous ego. So ego and your actions that are evil in nature, that are bad in nature, will be destroyed. So gun gaune karke hangta di ਨੀਚੀ ਹੂ ਅਤੇ ਨੀਚੋ ਭੈੜੀ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਜੋ ਤੇਰੇ ਚ ਪ੍ਰਫੁੱਲਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ ਸੋ ਹੰਗਤਾ ਦੀ ਭੈੜੀ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਫੁੱਲਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ so this poisonous ego that's spreading within you, the spread of ego that's within you, this will be destroyed. And ਦੂਜਾ ਹਉਮੈ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਸਹਿਤ ਤੇਰੀ ਭੈੜੀ ਕਰਤੂਤ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗੀ so along with the ego, your ਭੈੜੀ ਕਰਤੂਤ, your unfortunate actions, your bad actions will perish as well. And if we keep with the example of japping mantra with our tongues, and eventually goes internal, but if we keep with that, your actions will start, your bad actions that you do will start to go away. Maybe, whether that be calm actions, whether it be like anger related actions, whether that be greed related actions, whether that be harmful actions to yourself where we treat our bodies like garbage bins and we just throw whatever we want inside it. Like all these types of evil actions, whether towards our own selves or whether towards others, unfortunate actions, these will be destroyed alongside of ego. And with the taste of the tongue, I mean, that comes when Nam Ras also happens, right? Like when Mahapurushes start drinking Nam Ras, and that's those are advanced stages, I guess, what Mahapurushes enjoy. When they start drinking Nam Ras, then the tastes of otherworldly sort of foods, they sort of dissipate, right? They don't bother them as much. For us, normal sort of trying to walk on the path sort of practitioners, uh, taste of the tongue is huge. The only person that I've seen victorious over their tongue is Bhagaji. I've never met anyone else that's sort of victorious over their tongue, that has gained fateh over their tongue, the tastes of the tongue. But that's one thing that also harms us. It brings unfortunate foods into our body, which are not needed. So all these sort of things, the spread of this poisonous vakar and poisonous deeds, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਸ ਜਾਊਗੇ, ਇਹ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਹੋਏ ਅਚਿੰਤ ਬਸੈ ਸੁਖ ਨਾਲ, ਹੋਏ become, ਹੋ ਜਾਓ, ਹੋਵੋ ਅਚਿੰਤ, चिंता तो रहत, meaning worry free or carefree. Basa, reside, dwell. Baso, reside. Vasana karo, sukh. Sukh ਦਾ ਅਰਥ ਸੌਖੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਨਾਲ, with. So ਹੋ ਹੈ ਅਚਿੰਤ, ਹੋਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਅਚਿੰਤ, ਚਿੰਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਰਹਿਤ. Become worry free. Basa, reside or dwell. Sukh, sukh, ਨਾਲ with. We'll do these two lines together. Sa se gra se Hare Naam Saman. Sa se meaning breath. Sa lende hain. Gra se eating food. Gra se a bite of food. As you bite into food, or eating food. Gra se. Hare Vaheguru ji, naam. Samale, remember. Yaad karo, chete karo. So Let's do it in English first. Oh my mind, remember Vaheguru Ji with every breath as it goes in and comes out. That's another arth for ਸਾਹ ਸੇ ਗਰਾਸ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸਾਹ ਪਕੜ ਕੇ ਭਾਵ ਸਾਹ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਜੀ। ਸਾਹ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਗਰਾਹੀ ਛਕਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਹ ਨਿਰਯਤਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਖਿੱਚੀ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਗਰਾਸ ਹੈ ਖਿੱਚੀ ਦਾ to pull in as well। ਭਗਤ ਜੀ writes the arth for ਗਰਾਸ ਹੈ as in pulling in। ਇਉਂ ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਦਰ ਖਿੱਚ ਕੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਦਰ ਗਰਾਸਣਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਹੈ ਸਵਾਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਜਿੰਦ ਕਾਹਲੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਸ ਵਿਸਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਰਨਾ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਸਰਬ ਨਿਰੰਤਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਪੂਰਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸਹਿਤ ਹੇ ਮਨ ਯਾਦ ਕਰ। So remember Vaheguru Ji with every breath as it goes in and comes out. Also remember Vaheguru Ji even while eating food. ਉਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਸਰਨੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ। You will become, so if you do this, you will become worry-free of enemies, of vices, the cycle of birth and death, and your soul will reside in Sukh, Atam Sukh. So, hey, mere man, remember Vaheguru Ji with every breath as it goes in and comes out. And very practical example, grab a mala, start jumping. Give yourself a goal. I'm going to do Sawa Lakh Mool Mantra in the next month or 2 months, or if you're free, you have more time, about 30, I think maybe 33 malas a day. If you have less time, maybe do half of that. Do it in 80 days. And keep giving yourself these goals, different types of goals. I'm going to do 25 Japji Sahibs for 2025. This whole year, every day, I'm doing 25 Japji Sahibs. And jap it, repeat it. And you'll notice the shift. So in my mind, remember Vaheguru Ji with every breath as it goes in and as it comes out. Remember Vaheguru Ji even while eating. So ਵਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਔਗਣਾਂ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣਾਂ ਜਮਾਂ 84 ਦੇ ਗੇੜੇ ਤੋਂ ਅਚਿੰਤ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਆਤਮ ਸੁਖ ਨਾਲ ਵਸੇਗਾ। So you will become worry-free, achint of 84 the geda, of enemies of vices, and you will reside with the sukh of the soul. So ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਹ ਅੰਦਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਆ। And some people, eventually you can get to a point where you don't need a mala, or you don't need, I'm going to do 25 Japji Sahib maybe, and maybe there will be days throughout the year you'll actually, you know what, it's sitting in kirtan, it just hits you so hard you don't even want to put your man in any other job because the kirtan that's going on. So people enjoy it, and then go back to the naam that gave you the gift of enjoying it, right? Enjoy the kirtan, enjoy the money. Maybe you listen to a Sahaj Path and you're just fully absorbed. Maybe, throughout the year you get some moments like this. Enjoy that time. As soon as that starts to diminish, and then, you're going to go away, or you're leaving the Gurdwara, maybe you're at the Gurdwara listening, you're walking out, pick up your mala again and start back again. These times will start growing. Your man will start staying present. And when you this is how you gain control of your man. This is how the control starts happening. It's not the control of your own man, as in, manamata ni karni. It's the control that Gurbani gifts, as in the sense that as you jap the mantra will take a hold of your mind, the mantra will take a hold of your heart, and it'll take over everything. And it'll start staying present with each other. The man and shabd will start staying present with each other. And this is how the control over the man jita jago ji. This is the winning the mind. Your guru allows this victory. We cannot have this victory with our own strength. There's no jor here, but mudmara kirpa. If we start jumping, and this is where it all starts. Start jumping, start repeating. And this is Janma di Galla. This is many lifetimes. It's not just this, right? We've been at this for a long time. So if we have the opportunity to now grab your mala, grab whatever you're going to do, whatever sort of nishana you're going to hit, and start jumping. And start throughout the day. Keep a mantra flowing. Keep your mantra flowing. It'll flow long enough that it'll sort of start coming within you, start taking a hold of your man. It'll come into places where the man is sort of weak. If you have issues around calm, maybe, or if you have issues around krodh, maybe, or greed, maybe, the mantra will start coming in and start taking control over those areas, and it'll enhance your ability to sort of fight. Because this whole time. We're in a war with the Panjadut anyways. This is what we're here to do. We're warriors. Hatte Panj Jawan, I got a thapi ditti, Khandaji Maharaj gave me a thapad on my back and I fought the five. You know what I mean? Like this is our war. This is what we're here to do. Mantra is the tool. Mantra is the help. Mantra is the solution. Mantra is our guru. Mantra is what takes over and holds the mind and controls the mind. Eventually, you and the mantra start aligning. Uh, they say when there's no difference between the person japping, the object that the person is japping, in this case, if we're going to say object, we're going to say, Akal Purkha. So there's no difference between the one that's japping, the mantra itself, and the one that you're trying to jap. When those three combine together, that's when you start hitting it, right? And that's you'll get moments of that throughout the year. Those moments will start happening. So as each breath goes in, as it comes out, even while eating, japa mantra. Remember Vaheguruji. Maybe you're jumping inside. Maybe you got kirtan going on. Try to stay focused throughout the day as much as you can. And if the man, it's going to be Beiman, it's going to be like, I'm not going to jump, I don't want to jump anymore. Finish your mantra for the day, that's fine. Go about your day, live your life, do what you got to do. Tomorrow you have to hit the mantra again because you have a year commitment, or you have a month commitment, or you have a two-month commitment. So you got to hit it again. Eventually, it'll start sticking. Become worry-free from these enemies, worry-free from the cycle of birth and death eventually as well. So, sa se gra se hare naam smale, ho he acento basai sukhanale, sa se gra se hare naam smale. So, chhade se anap sagli mana, chhade, abandon, se anap, cleverness, se anap, sagli, sari, mana, हे मेरे मन, ओ माइंड, हे मन, अपनी औगण जुल्म विकार कुसंगत ਵੱਡੀ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਪਕੜ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਰੱਖਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਿਆਣਪ ਛੱਡ ਦੇ। ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਸਿਆਣੇ ਪਿਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਪਰੇ। Abandon it. Hey, oh mind, abandon your cleverness that keeps you away from sad sangat. Abandon your cleverness that keeps you trapped in vices and bad deeds. You have a mada, you have a action that you do, and it causes you destruction, whether that be eating certain foods, whether that be watching certain things, whether that be listening to certain people, whether that be hanging out with the wrong people, and this is hurting you. This is hurting you. Release yourself, have daya on yourself, and remove it. Abandon your cleverness that keeps you away from these things, that keeps you away from Sangat. Abandon the cleverness that keeps you trapped in these vices and these bad deeds. And then what do? हे मन सो इनू सियाणप नू छड्डना कर, साध संग पावे सच तन। एंड देन संगत जाके बैठिया करो भाई, संगत करया करो। साध संग इन द कंपनी ऑफ संस, साध संगत meaning साध संगत, पावे obtain receive, sacho true, tana meaning wealth, tan, right? So by doing the sangat of Guru Sahib Ji, and or by doing the sangat of fully absorbed sants, and by doing Guru Seva and devotional worship, meaning Prema Bhakti, you will obtain the true wealth of Nam. So seva karke ਦਾਤਾਂ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਤੁਰੰਤ ਸਿਆਣਪ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਤੁਰੰਤ ਹੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰ। So first, so Bhagavad Gita hits you straight. Leave your siyanap and go to sangat. First and foremost, leave your siyanap and do sangat. Whether that's at your house, whether that's on your computer, whether that's you can actually physically get up and go to the Guru Kar, whether that's meeting with Gurmukh minds, whether that's reading Gurbani. So turant siyanap chhad ke turant hi sadh sangat kar। ਸੋ ਗੁਰਤਪ ਰਾਜਮਾਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਭਗਵਾਨ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਅਤਿਅੰਤ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਸਰੂਪ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਚ ਲੀਨ ਸ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਟ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੰਗ ਗੁਰੂ ਸੇਵਾ ਬੰਦਗੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਾਚੋ ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਪਾ ਲਵੇਂਗਾ। You will obtain Gurbani, you will obtain Naam. So by doing seva, by doing worship, by going in sangat, by hanging out with Mahapurushas, by hanging out with Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji Sangat, sitting in sangat, doing seva of sangat there, you will obtain the true wealth of Naam. And there is a difference as well. Maybe I can't say this overall, but like what I've noticed was, like if Vartayang say Jal at the Guru Kar and Kirtan's going on upstairs and you're jumping, like say you've got Mool Mantra going on inside you, you're trying to jump Mantra for, you have a certain thing going on, whatever you're trying to do at that time in your life. It's very impactful. It's more impactful than sitting alone and doing it, I find personally, because physically you're active, your body's active. You're in the mindset that I'm serving Guru Sahib Ji themselves, doing the seva for Guru Sahib Ji themselves, if we want to call it seva. And you got kirtan going on because the speakers, you hear the kirtan in the langar hall. And then you have your own mantra going on, and you're going back and forth from your mantra to the kirtan to Jal Vaheguru Ji, Jal Vaheguru Ji, Jal Vaheguru Ji. So this whole holistic aspect of healing is beautiful. It involves the physical, it involves the mental, your emotional piece is, the kirtan is taking care of your emotional piece as well. You feel like you're contributing, which is huge. You need something that's bigger than yourself. So if you're going to be doing seva, that's amazing from that perspective. So it's a whole holistic approach that Maharaj has gifted us with. That's a very healing approach. So I would highly recommend, especially if someone's going through any sort of depressive episodes, I would highly recommend doing something like that. That will definitely snap them out of their intellectual mind and get their body flowing and reintegrate the mind with Gurbani instead of the cycle of a looping cycle of a negative story. So by doing the Sangata Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji fully absorbed sants, and by doing Gurseva and devotional worship, you will obtain the true wealth of Naam. So ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਕੇ you obtain Naam. Hare Punji. Punji means daulat, wealth. I'll write that down here. So Hare, Vaheguru Ji, Punji, wealth, capital, daulat, sanche, 71 करना, इनू एक्यूमुलेट करना। सो करहो व्यवहारो, व्यवहार मीन्स बिजनेस, करहो मीन्स डू। सो हरे पूंजी sanche, karho vyavharo. O mind, collect the wealth of nam and virtues within yourself. Engage in the business of repeating and assisting others to repeat nam. Hey mana, a japa japa, nam rupi daulat, हर जी दी सत संतोख खेमा निमरता गरीबी शरदा आदि शुभ गुणा रूपी पूंजी meaning wealth अपने रोम रोम दे ध्यान अंदर एकत्र कर. So collect this within your mind. ਸੋ ਇਹਦਾ ਵਪਾਰ ਕਰ, ਇਹਦਾ ਵਿਵਹਾਰ ਕਰ। ਸੋ ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਗੁਣਾ ਰੂਪੀ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਇਕੱਤਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਣ ਜਪਾਉਣ, ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਕਰਮ ਕਰਨ ਕਰਾਉਣ, ਧਰਮ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਰੂਪ ਸੱਚਾ ਵਿਵਹਾਰ ਕਰ। Do this true business. Engage in the business of repeating and assisting others to repeat Naam. Engage in the business of doing nishkam seva, meaning seva without any desire. Oh, my mind, collect the wealth of Nam and virtues within yourself. So, as you start jumping Nam, virtues also, I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe virtues will start flowing as well within you because you're jumping Nam of the greatest, and everything that belongs to the greatest will start happening for you as well, starting coming in you too. So, Hare Punji Sanche Karho Vyavharo. And then what will happen? Iha Sokho. Dargah Jaikaro. Iha meaning Aithe, here. Is Lokja. Here in this world. Sokh meaning Sokh. Dargah, Vahiguruji's divine court. And then Bhagaji translates, you know how he translates divine court. We've done this before. Asanga Brahmanadi Rachana, the creation of the whole world. Because Vahiguruji is Prakashmay everywhere. And then Sad Sangat, Maharaji's Sat Sangat Jadiya, that as well. And then Sachakand as well, right? So Bhagaji always does these three translations for Dargah. Jaikaro meaning glory, honor. Speaking Jaikaro also means, like, you know, when we do a Jaikara, speaking words loudly. Jaikaro, with a loud voice. But Jai Jaikar, if we do it in here in Punjabi, Bhagaji does the artha Jai Jaikar. The two just means say Jai twice. Jai Jaikar. So Iha Sokho Dargah Jaikaro. So ਇਸ ਲੋਕ ਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਚ ਸਦਾ ਅਚਲ ਹੋਣ ਰੂਪ ਆਤਮ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤੀ ਸਹਿਤ ਸਦਾ ਸੁਖ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਦਰਗਾਹ ਚ ਭਾਵ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਚ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੰਖ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਚ ਜੈ ਜੈਕਾਰ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। So you will obtain the sukh of always remaining absorbed within Vahiguruji in this world. You will be honored in the divine court of Vahiguruji as well. The creation is a divine court, as is Sangat of Guru Sahib Ji. So, Iha Sokho Dargah Jaikaro, Hare Punji Sanche Karho Vyavharo. So, by collecting the Punji, the wealth of Hare, Naam, and by Sanche, by accumulating it, by collecting it, Karho Vyavhar, by doing the business of this. Iha Sokho Dargah Jaikaro, you'll get Sokh in this lok, and Dargah Jaikar, Dargah de vich vi thadi jai jaikar hovegi. Sarab Nirantare. Nirantare means like inside, fully within. Sare ande andar. Nira antar. Nirantare. Enu andar. Puran तौर ते अंदर। एको मीन एको देखो, देख means to देखना, to see. Eko meaning one, sarv meaning all, nirantare means fully within. Like if it was just antar, it would be within, but nirantare meaning and within, fully within, jamai andar. Sarab nirantare एको देखो, सो कहो नानक जाके मस्तक लेखो, कहो सेज नानक गुरु ग्रंथ साहब महाराज जी, जाके जिस दे, और one who has mastake forehead, mastak means matha, um, put mastake here somewhere, mastake or Shromani, Bhagavad translate mastake as Shromani, the lekho mastake. So mastake meaning forehead, but taking that meaning the highest. So our forehead is on top. So Bhagavad did this earth straight as in uh, the biggest lake. Jake mastake lekho. Lekho means written or preordained writing. Let me see where lake is here. Jina de lake. Yeah, Bhagavad does lake. Siddha here. So let's go in English first. The Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji stating the 10 Guru Sahib Jis whose writing of Gurbani is the most revered. So mastake from that perspective. Um, so mastak akhari arth means forehead, but if we take the antariv arth, we can say the most revered, the Shiromani. View Vaheguru Ji within everyone. So Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Granth Sahib is stating the 10 Guru Sahib Jis whose writing of Gurbani Ji is the most revered, is the most mastak, is the most Shiromani. View Vaheguru Ji within everyone. So Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji ਫਰਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਸੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਲੇਖ ਸ਼੍ਰੋਮਣੀ ਹਨ, ਐਸੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਰਸ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਜੋਤੀ ਸਰੂਪ ਅਖੰਡ ਤੇਜ ਪ੍ਰਚੰਡ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਬ ਵਿਆਪੀ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਜਾਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਅਸੰਖ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਝਿਲਮਿਲ ਕਾਰ ਨੂਰ ਹੀ ਨੂਰ ਅੰਤ ਕਲਬਾਨਾ ਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਨ. So they see Brahm within everything, within everyone. ਭਾਵ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਵੈਰ ਕਰੇ, ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਸ਼ਟ ਦੇਵੇ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਸ 'ਚ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਨ. And then here's an example Bhagavad Ji gives, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਤੀਜੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਗੁਰਤਾ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੋਇੰਦਵਾਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਵਿਖੇ ਗੁਰਤਾ ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਤੇ ਸਜ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ. So ਤੀਜੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ is in Goindwal Sahib, sitting on the Singhasan, sitting on the throne, sitting on the takht. ਹੰਕਾਰੀ ਦਾਤੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੱਖੀ ਤੇ ਲੱਤ ਮਾਰੀ, ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਤੋਂ ਡਿਗੇ. So Maharaj fell off the Singhasan when Datu went and kicked him in his ribs. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਫੇਰ ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਤੇ ਬਿਠਾਏ. So they picked up Guru Sahib Ji, put him on the Singhasan again, the Sangha did. ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਦਾਤੂ ਦੇ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਮਾਫੀ ਮੰਗੀ. But Guru Sahib Ji, showing extreme ਗਰੀਬੀ ਗਦਾ ਹਮਾਰੀ, touched the feet of Datu and asked for forgiveness. ਅਤਿਅੰਤ ਘਣੀ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਹਾ, ਦਾਸਨ ਦਾਸ ਦੇ ਹੱਡ ਸਖਤ ਹਨ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਕੋਮਲ ਲੱਤ 'ਚ ਭੀੜ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਗਈ. So Guru Sahib Ji is like, I'm old and my bones are hard. Are you sure you didn't get hurt on your komal feet, on your soft feet? ਦਾਸਨ ਦਾਸ ਦੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਸਣ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਖੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ. So like forgive me, is my fault that I didn't get up when you came. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ, ਸਭ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਤਿਅੰਤ ਗਰੀਬੀ ਕੋਮਲ ਮਿੱਠੇ ਬਚਨ ਕਹਿਣੇ, ਦੂਜੇ ਦੇ ਕੋੜੇ ਬਚਨ ਸਹਿਣੇ, ਗਰੀਬੀ ਧਾਰਨੀ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਚੰਤੂਰ ਬਣਨਾ. So this is an example of Gribi Gada Hamari Khanna Sagare Chari. It destroys all Vikar. This example of Tija Pasha Ji. So they see the one and all, right? So Guru Sahib Ji's, whose writing is the most revered, view Vaheguru Ji within everyone. So Gur Prasad, Aprasad, Sant Prasad, that was the 7th
Pauri of the 19th Astpadi, and we will reconvene Marasatta next week. And Maharaj allows to do Samapti of the 19th Astpadi.
Sahib, ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤਿ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪੋ ਆਦਿ ਸਚੋ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚੋ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚੋ ਸਲੋਕ ਸਾਥ ਨ ਚਾਲੈ ਬਿਨ ਭਜਨ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਸਗਲੀ ਛਾਰੋ ਹਰਿ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਕਮਾਵਨਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਇਹੋ ਧਨ ਸਾਰੋ ਅਸਟ ਪਦੀ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮਿਲ ਕਰਹੁ ਵਿਚਾਰੋ ਏਕੋ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਅਵਰੇ ਉਪਾਵ ਸਭ ਮੀਤ ਬਿਸਾਰੋ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਿਦ ਮਹਿ ਉਰੇ ਧਾਰੋ ਕਰਨ ਕਾਰਨ ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੁ ਸਮਰਾਥੋ ਦ੍ਰਿੜੋ ਕਾਰੇ ਗਹੋ ਨਾਮ ਹਰੇ ਵਾਥੋ ਇਹੋ ਤਨ ਸੰਚ ਹੋ ਬਹੁ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਕਾ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਮੰਤ ਏਕਸ ਏਕ ਆਸ ਰਾਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ ਸਰਬ ਰੋਗ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਿਟ ਜਾਹੇ। ਪੌੜੀ 2। ਜਿਸ ਧਨ ਕੋ ਚਾਰੇ ਕੁੰਟ ਉਠੇ ਧਾਵਹਿ ਸੋ ਧਨੁ ਹਰਿ ਸੇਵਾ ਤੇ ਪਾਵਹਿ ਜਿਸ ਸੁਖ ਕੋ ਨਿਤ ਬਾਛਹਿ ਮੀਤ ਸੋ ਸੁਖ ਸਾਧੂ ਸੰਗੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਿਸ ਸੋਭਾ ਕੋ ਕਰਹਿ ਭਲੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸਾ ਸੋਭਾ ਭਾਜੋ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਸਰਨੀ ਅਨੇਕ ਪਾਵੀ ਰੋਗ ਨ ਜਾਏ ਰੋਗ ਮਿਟੈ ਹਰਿ ਅਵ ਖਾਦੋ ਲਾਏ ਅਵ ਖਾਦੋ ਮੀਨਿੰਗ ਦਵਾਈ ਸਰਬ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਮਹਿ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਜਪ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਰਗਹਿ ਪਰਵਾਨ। ਪੌੜੀ 3। ਮਨ ਪ੍ਰਬੋਧ ਹੋ ਹਰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਗਿਵ ਯਰ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਥਰੂ ਹਰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਦਹ ਦਿਸ ਤਾਵਤ ਆਵੇ ਠਾਏ this is how you bring it home. This is the thing that's running in 10 directions. ਦਹ ਦਿਸ ਤਾਵਤ ਆਵੇ ਠਾਏ ਟਿਕਾਣੇ ਸੇ ਰਾਜੋ ਤਾ ਕੋ ਵਿਘਨ ਨਾ ਲਾਗੇ ਕੋਏ ਜਾ ਕਹਿ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਬਸੈ ਹਰਿ ਸੋਏ ਕਾਲੇ ਤਾਤੀ ਠਾਂਡਾ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਉ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਸਦਾ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਓ ਭਾਉ ਬਿਨਸੈ ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋਏ ਆਸ ਭਗਤੇ ਭਾਏ ਆਤਮ ਪ੍ਰਗਾਸ ਤੇ ਤੋ ਘਰੇ ਜਾਏ ਬਸੈ ਬਿਨਾਸੀ ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਕਾਟੀ ਜਮ ਫਾਸ। 4th ਪੌੜੀ। ਤਤ ਵਿਚਾਰੋ ਹੈ ਜਨੋ ਸਾਚਾ ਜਨਮੇ ਮਰੈ ਸੋ ਕਾਚੋ ਕਾਚਾ ਆਵਾ ਗਵਨ ਮਿਟੈ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸੇਵ ਆਪ ਤਿਆਗੇ ਸਰ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੇਵ ਇਹੋ ਰਤਨ ਜਨਮ ਕਾ ਹੋਏ ਉਧਾਰੋ ਹਰਿ ਹਰਿ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਨ ਆਧਾਰੋ ਅਨੇਕ ਪਾਵ ਨ ਛੂਟਨ ਹਾਰੇ ਸਿਮਰਤ ਸਾਸਤ ਭੇਦ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤ ਕਰਹੁ ਮਨ ਮਨ ਲਾਏ ਮਨ ਬੰਛਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਫਲ ਪਾਏ। 5th ਪੌੜੀ। ਸੰਗ ਨ ਚਾਲਸ ਤੇਰਾ ਧਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਕਿਆ ਲਪਟਾਵੇ ਮੂਰਖ ਮਨਾ ਸੁਤ ਮੀਤ ਕੁਟੰਬ ਅਰ ਬਨਿਤਾ ਇੰਨ ਤੇ ਕਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਵਨ ਸਨਾਥਾ ਰਾਜ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਬਿਸਥਾਰ ਇਨ ਤੇ ਕਹੋ ਕਵਨ ਛੁਟਕਾਰ ਆਸੋ ਹਸਤੀ ਰਥ ਅਸਵਾਰੀ ਝੂਠਾ ਡਾਂਫੋ ਝੂਠੋ ਪਾਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਨ ਦੀਏ ਤਿਸ ਬੁਝੇ ਨਾ ਬੇਗਾਨਾ ਨਾਮ ਬਿਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਛੁਤਾਨਾ। 6th ਪੌੜੀ। ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਮਤਿ ਤੂੰ ਲੇਹ ਏਆਨੇ ਭਗਤ ਬਿਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੂਬੇ ਸਿਆਨੇ ਹਰ ਕੀ ਭਗਤੇ ਕਰਹੁ ਮਨ ਮੀਤ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਇ ਤੁਮਾਰੋ ਚੀਤ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਾਖੋ ਹੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ ਜਨਮ ਜਨਮ ਕੇ ਕਿਲ ਵਿਖ ਜਾਹੇ ਜੈ ਰੂਪੀ ਪਾਪ ਕਿਲ ਵਿਖ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਓਗੇ ਵਹਾਓ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਰਾਖੋ ਮਨ ਮਾਹੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੋ ਆਪ ਜਪੋ ਅਵਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਵੋ ਸੁਨਤ ਕਹਤ ਰਾਹਤ ਗਾਤੇ ਪਾਵੋ ਸੁਣਦਿਆਂ ਸੋ the ਰਾਹਤ the code of conduct, the rani of Amrit, the rani of Sonat, and the rani of Kahat, meaning stay engaged in listening, stay engaged in japping. And then what? Gate pav. This is the path to mukti. Sar put sate har ko nao, sahaj subhae nanak gun gao. Last week's gun gawat तेरी उतर से मैलो बिन से जाए हुम मैं बेखो फैलो हो है चिंत बसा सुख नाले सास ग्रास हर नाम सुमाले। सो ग्रास खांदे हैं ग्रास साह बाहर जाते हैं ਹਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਉਸਮਾਲ। ਛਾੜੇ ਸਿਆਣਪ ਸਗਲੀ ਮਨਾ, ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਵੇ ਸਚੋ ਧਨਾ, ਹਰੇ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਸਾਂਚੇ, the wealth of Nam, Karho Bihar, or do the Bihar, the business of Hare Punji Sanche. Iha Sokho Dargah Jaikaro. Sarva Narantare Eko Dekho, Kaho Nanak Jaka Masta Te Lekho. And today, Eko Jape, Eko Salahe. Jape as in Japana Karo, Salahe as in praise, meaning Kirtan, Gurbani, Gona Karo. Eko Simare, Eko Man Ahe. Ahe here meaning chana, utashana, with great passion, with great determination, with the cha of the soul. Karhe bhagate atma ka chai. Eko simare, eko man ahe. Ekas ke gun gao anant, man tane jape, ek bhagwant, eko, 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 hare ape. ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ, ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਆ, ਸਰਗੁਣ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਆ। ਪੂਰਨ ਪੂਰ ਰਹਿਓ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਵਿਆਪ। ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜੀ ਵਿਆਪਕ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਦੇਰ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਪੂਰਨ ਵਿਆਪਕ ਫਾਰਮ। ਅਨਕ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਏਕ ਤੇ ਭਏ, this ਵਿਸਥਾਰ that we see, this ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ that we see, the physical manifestation of Akal Purkh that we see, this anik visthar that we see, ek te pay, it happened from the one. Kita pasawe kokovao. Eko arade, parachat gay. Parachat meaning sins. Janma janma de jede paapya. Eko arade, aradan naal, japan naal, parachat gay. ਸਰਗੁਣ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਏਕਤਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਪਰਾਛਤ ਗਏ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਪਦਿਆਂ ਪਰਾਛਤ ਗਏ। ਮਨ ਤਨ ਅੰਤਰੇ ਏਕੋ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਰਾਤਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਨਾਨਕ ਇੱਕੋ ਜਾਤਾ। ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੀ ਆ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਸੱਤਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਪ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀਵ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ, ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ ਤਾਈਓ ਆ। ਸੋ ਰਿਵਿਊਇੰਗ ਲਾਸਟ ਵੀਕ, ਗੁਣ ਗਾਵਤ ਤੇਰੀ ਉਤਰ ਸੇ ਮੈਲੋ। Hey mana, the filth of vices, ninda, chugli, the mal of all these sins, all types of negative actions will be cleansed by singing the guna of Akal Purkh ji through Gurbani ji. Bene se jaye home bekho failo. So this poisonous spread of ego will be destroyed, but the spread of bad actions also will be destroyed alongside the ego. So bene se jaye home bekho failo, the poisonous home, it will be destroyed, but the ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੋ ਕਰਮ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਪੁੱਠੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਕਰਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ that will be destroyed too. ਹੋ ਹੈ ਚਿੰਤ ਵਸੈ ਸੁਖ ਨਾਲ, ਸਾਸ ਗ੍ਰਾਸ ਹਰਿ ਨਾਮ ਸਮਾਲ. So as the breath goes in, as the breath comes out, while eating, naam jap. Make your tongue your mala. If it gets tired, go internal. And this is the path to becoming worry-free of your enemies, of Kam, Karo, Lo, Mohankar, of external enemies, of vices, of the cycle of birth and death. And this is the path to reside with Atam Sukh. Chhade se anab sagli mana. So this cleverness that keeps us away from Sangat, that keeps us trapped in vices and made karma, abandon this cleverness. Isse anab sari chhad de mana. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗੇ ਭਾਵੇ ਸਚੋ ਧਨਾ, ਇਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੀ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਸੇਵਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਦਾ। ਹਰੇ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਸਾਂਚੇ ਕਰੋ ਵਿਵਹਾਰੋ, engage in the business, the vihar of japping naam, assisting others to jap naam, and ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਨੂੰ, ਹਰੇ ਪੂੰਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਚੇ, the wealth of naam, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਲੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਰੋ, virtues, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਲੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਰੋ। ਇਹਾ ਸੁਖ ਦਰਗਹ ਜੈਕਾਰੋ। ਭਾਈ ਇਸ ਲੋਕ ਚ ਵੀ ਸੁੱਖ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਐਂਡ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਦਰਗਾਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸੁੱਖ ਹੈ। ਸਰਬ ਨਿਰੰਤਰ ਏਕੋ ਦੇਖੋ, ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਸਤਕ ਲੇਖੋ। ਸੋ 10 ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਜੀ who's writing mastake shiromani, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੇਖ ਆ, the writing is shiromani, the greatest writing of all, whose writing of Gurbani is the most revered. uh Sarva Nirantara Eko Dekho, they view Vaheguru Ji within everyone. We are their kids, hence we get gifted. ਵੀ ਉਹ ਦਾਦੇ ਕਾ ਖੋਲ ਡਿਠੇ ਡਿਠਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਭੈਣ ਨੇ ਧਾਨਾ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ, and we will eventually follow in these footsteps. Eko jape, eko salahe, this is where we're starting today. Eko meaning ek, the one. Jape meaning japna karo, chant. Eko the one, ek salahe, salona karo, praise. Oh beloved Sikh, chant naam and praise the one of Vaheguru Ji with the grace of Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji. ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀਆਂ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਅਦਵੈਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਡੰਡੌਤ ਬੰਦਨ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗੁਲਾਮ, ਗੁਲਮ ਗੁਲਾਮ, ਦਾਸਨ ਦਾਸ ਨੀਚ ਕੁੱਕਰ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਸਲਾਹੁਣਾ ਕਰੋ, ਅਸਤੋਤਰ ਕਰੋ। ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੰਗਮ ਚ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਥਾ ਸਿਫਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਰ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਭਗਤਾਂ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭੱਟਾਂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਸਿੱਖੋ, beloved Sikhs, ਨਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ, chant ਨਾਮ, and praise, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਹੁਣਾ ਕਰੋ, and praise ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ with the grace of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Do it through katha, through kirtan, do it sitting alone, do it through your books that you read, do it through pothiyan, do it through Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji, do it through any material and sources that we have available to us, do it through meeting in sangat, in all ways possible, do it. Eko jape, eko salah hai. Eko simare, eko man ahe. So once again, eko the one, simare, chete karo, yaad karo, remember. Eko nu man de vich mind ahe, ahe with chahke, with passion, with determination, with excitement, with excitement of the soul, like a beginner's mind, with curiosity, with passion. Eko simare, eko man ahe. ਨਿਰਗੁਣੋ ਸਰਗੁਣੋ ਆਪੇ ਸੋਈ। ਏਕੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਅਸੰਖ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਰੂਪ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਅਸੰਖ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦਾ ਪਸਾਰਾ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਅਜਪਾ ਜਾਪ ਸਰੂਪ। ਆਪ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਜਪ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਅੰਦਰ ਚਾਹ ਕੇ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਪੂਰਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਨਮਸਕਾਰਾਂ ਹੀ ਨਮਸਕਾਰਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਏਕੋ ਏਕ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ, ਭਾਵ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਚਾਹ ਕੇ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਅਨੰਤ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਸੂਰਜ ਚੰਦ ਹਰ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਬਾਹਰ ਅਸੰਖ ਅਨੰਤ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਵਿਆਪਕ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਨੰਤ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦਾ ਪਸਾਰਾ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਜੀ ਸਮੇਤ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਦਾ ਜਪਾ ਜਾਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਜਲ ਥਲ ਮਾਹੇ ਆਪੇ ਆਪ, ਆਪੈ ਜਪੋ ਆਪਨਾ ਜਾਪ। The one Vaheguru Ji is the Nirgun and Sargun form. This expansion that we see, Maharaj is permeating everywhere. The one Nirgun Sup is permeating everything. Maharaj in ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਵਸੇ ਹੋਇਆ. Remember them within your mind with great passion. I ਆਇਓ ਪੜਨ ਸੁਣਨ ਕੋ ਬਾਣੀ. That's why we have come here. That's our maqsad in life, is to jap naam. And through japping naam, merging back with the one. So jako ai soi behajo. Hare gorte mane basera. Ai naam japana karo. ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੱਸਦੇ ਆ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੋ and finish what you've come to do. Finish the game. ਏਕਸ ਕੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ ਅਨੰਤ ਏਕਸ of the one ਇੱਕ ਦੇ ਕੇ of ਗੁਣ virtue ਗੁਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ qualities ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਅਨੰਤ infinite endless ਬੇਅੰਤ countless. ਏਕਸ ਕੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਓ ਅਨੰਤ. Sing the countless virtues of Vaheguru Ji. Sing the infinite virtues of Vaheguru Ji. Sing the endless virtues of Vaheguru Ji. So Bhagavad writes a lot of Gurbani here. Opade par lokhen mein kata pele par nirguno rahata. खंड ब्रह्मांड में अंत द्वारा हारिया तेरी सोभा तो सच्चे मेरे प्यारिया राजन के राजा महाराजन के महाराजा. So ਭਗਤ ਵਛਲ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਨਿਰਹਾਰ ਅਗਮ ਅਗੋਚਰ ਪਤਿਤ ਪਾਵਨ ਸਰਬ ਸੁਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਦਾਤੇ ਉਪਰੋਕਤ ਲਿਖੇ ਗੁਣਾ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਗੁਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਪੂਰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਜੀ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਆਪ ਤਿਆਗ ਕੇ ਗੁਣਾ ਕਰੋ. Renounce your ego, sing the virtues of Maharaj, the countless virtues of Maharaj. Couple notes how, Maharaj ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. ਇਹ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੀ ਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. With the tongue of each pore. ਇੰਨੇ ਚਾਅ ਨਾਲ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ. That, when you hear something and then, you get like a shiver down your back. Or, the little pores, the little hairs on your arms or whatever, they stand up. When you hear something that's exciting to you. ਇੰਨੇ ਚਾਅ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਗਾਉਣਾ ਕਰੋ that starts happening with Gurbani. ਮਾਨੇ ਤਾਨੇ ਜਾਪ ਏਕ ਭਗਵੰਤ. Mane within the mind, mane tane in the body, rom rom ch. Jape meditate, jape ek Bhagavant Vaheguru Ji. Oh beloved, renounce hatred, vices, greed, slander, and ego. Meditate on Vaheguru Ji with your mind and each pore of your body. Man vi la do, tan vi la do. Maharaj di bhagti ch la do ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਫਲ ਆ. It'll be fulfilled. It'll came what it came to do. It'll fulfill its duty, the reason it was born. It'll accomplish it. It'll end the cycle of 84 lakh. It'll end everything. It'll give you options, as in Now you become like a free agent in basketball or in any sport. You could pick and choose. Do you're gonna come back? You're gonna do say what do you want to do? Like Jawar Singh says, I'm coming back. I'm gonna do Kirtan Darbar Sahib. Bhagji says I'm coming back. I'm gonna do Seva again. Like these guys have choices. So hey ਭਾਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਰੋਮ ਚੋਂ ਵੈਰ ਵਿਕਾਰ ਲੱਭ ਲੋਭ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਨਿੰਦਾ ਜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਬੰਬ ਸੁੱਟਣ ਆਦਿ ਕੋ ਕਰਮ ਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿਰ ਸਰਵੰਸ ਅਰਪ ਕੇ ਦਿਲ ਜਾਨ ਪੂਰਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਪਿਆਰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਸਰੂਪ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨ ਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਪ੍ਰੀਤਮ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤਮ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਜਾਪ ਮਾਨੇ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਰ ਸੋ ਬਿਕਮ the ਪਿਆਰਾ of Guru Sahib Ji and ਇਹ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ right renounce all these things and meditate on Vaheguru Ji become the ਪਿਆਰਾ ਪ੍ਰੀਤਮ ਜੀ and ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਈ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ eventually ਰਾਤ ਦਿਨੇ ਜਪਣਾ ਕਰੋ ਪਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ ਕਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵੀ ਕਰੋ so tell yourself I'm going to do a certain amount of jobs of particular bani and I'm going to do this for this amount of time ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ एको 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 हरे आप एको meaning the one ek eko meaning the one ek eko meaning the one ek hare Vaheguru ji आप they themselves आप Vaheguru ji पूरन पूर रहो प्रभु व्याप पूरन perfect complete पूरन पूरे meaning भरपूर meaning fully ever present meaning abundantly present meaning imbued within every little particle pure rahyo remains rahe prabhu Vaheguru ji vyap permeating everything uh they're the expansion as well they're everywhere they're vyapak vyapak ho rahe ne Vaheguru ji was present in the time of Satyug Treta Dwapar and still is present in this age of Kali Yuga first arth ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਤਿਯੁਗ 'ਚ ਸਨ ਸੱਚੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤ੍ਰੇਤੇ 'ਚ ਸਨ ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੁਆਪਰ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਸਨ ਹੁਣ ਕਲਯੁਗ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਅਜਪ ਅਜਾਪ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਹਨ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ so the reason I believe Bhagavad wrote this like this is because there are three he says eko 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 hare ape so that's why Bhagavad took it historically as well Satyug Treta Dwapar and currently as well first arth ਦੂਜਾ ਅਰਥ the one Vaheguru Ji is the expansion of the universe in the form of sarguna meaning any akar that you see you are looking at a computer this is an akar you have a body this is an akar you look up at nighttime and you may see stars those are akars we live on a tarti we drive a car we hold a pen or a pencil we might have a notebook in front of us these are akars the one Vaheguru Ji ita pasao eko kavao teste hoy lakh daryao these are akars the one Vaheguru Ji is the expansion of the universe in the form of sarguna we call this sarguna manifested The one Vaheguru Ji is fully permeating everything in the form of Nirgun. This is a Prakash Sarupa. So Maharaj ने अपना expansion किया, पर Maharaj expansion तो वखरे नहीं है. So Maharaj is everywhere from that perspective. And Maharaj is Nirlep. You might hear arguments of, oh, from other faiths. So you're saying that, oh, God is in the toilet, God is in like everything. You might hear Sadai arguments like that because their perspective is very different. The Akal Purkh Ji, they may say that resides in a heaven or something like that. But we believe that Maharaj is permeating everything. And there is no, and you'll see in the 21st Astpadi, Papa Punatah Pei Kahavat, Ko Narka Ko Surg Banchavat, where some people then, this is Pap, this is Pun. All these things started as well. Maharaj is Nalep. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ like a Brahmagyan is nirlep, like the Brahmagan, like they're nirlep in the sense like the earth is nirlep. Like you could dig up earth, you could build up a pile, you could do whatever to the, it's not going to say anything to you. It's nirlep, it's unaffected. It's unaffected by our sochani, it's unaffected by our intellect, it's unaffected by all this. Maharaj is unaffected. Maharaj in a physical manifestation in the Sargun form, if we take Guru Arjan, they said, Maharaj, you could be sitting on an iron plate, they're unaffected. You could cut their sex piece by piece, they're unaffected. Right? Why? Because ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਭਾਈ ਮਨੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਉਹੀ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੋ ਗਏ. ਬਈ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਨਿਰਭਉ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਕਰਕੇ you keep praising ਨਿਰਭਉ 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 ਨਿਰਭਉ, you doing ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਜਾਪ, you keep saying that, keep saying, you are going to take on that quality. And once that prakash happens for you, Baba Harnam Singh Ji Rampur Kheda, you take on that form, you are nirlep from everything. You're physically, you're not affected, right? Maharaj isn't affected. Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj Ji isn't affected, right? Some people may take Maharaj Swarup and do Beadbi of Maharaj Swarup and, may burn Maharaj Swarup and do whatever they want and, throw it in the, and we've seen this happen in Punjab. Maharaj is unaffected. Maharaj isn't affected by any of this. So Maharaj, it's a very different sochani, right? If we read Akal Ostata, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's writings, and Utte the Maharaj, like, you you are everything, you are this, you are that, you are from even from that perspective, you are the one in the grass, you are the one enjoying the grass, you are the one in the tapi, you are the Ishwar of the tapis, you are like Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੀ ਆ, there is no other place. Maharaj is not late. Maharaj is unaffected. Their abhyasis are unaffected, that make it, that keep walking on the path and eventually make it. Their Mahapurushas are unaffected, right? Their lekha is ripped up. There is no pap, there is no pun. Baba Deep Singh Ji is cutting off a head. There is no pap for Baba Deep Singh Ji. Baba Deep Singh Ji is illuminated and he's in prakash and he's in such a state, like he physically developed his body as well, but his inside is that of the same as Akal. It's nirlep. It's unaffected. You cannot, there is no shake in the heart of Baba Deep Singh Ji. You cannot shake his heart. There is no depression. There is no anxiety. There is no worry. These are our great, 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 great grandfathers and our grandmothers. Like, they are unshakable, these Mahapurushas. You cannot shake them. You cannot, गंगा की लहर मेरी टूटी जंजीर, मिर्गशाला पर बैठे कबीर, भगत कबीर साहब जी की बेड़ियां पावे सिट्टो इनू इत्थे सिट्टो वे पानी दे वैसे. Like, it doesn't, they're unaffected. You cannot do anything to an Abhyasi Purush that's entombed with Akal Purkh. And if we take it from the form of Vaheguru Ji, then Vaheguru Ji created these sons. We're just talking about what do we think Vaheguru Ji would be then? There is no limit. there is no limit. ਇਸ ਸੋਚਣੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, they're closed off mindsets, non-abhyasi mindsets, non-practitioner mindsets that may debate you around these things. But Maharaj's philosophy, Maharaj's um, ways are beyond, man. It moves beyond the intellect as well, because intellect will take you from an understanding perspective. But ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਭਿਆਸੀ ਪੁਰਸ਼ ਆ, ਜੇਨ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜੇਨ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜਾਪ ਕੀਤੇ, ਤਾਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ, ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣਿਆ, ਜ਼ਬਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਜਪਿਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ they start moving away from anxieties and depressions and all these sort of things. They cannot permeate, they cannot enter those mindsets, and eventually they become the cells within their body become so attuned to japa that they become they become mahapurshas. You know what I mean? Their statuses shift because they have such a kala flowing through their veins. They have such kala flowing through each pore within their bodies that they become unaffected. So the one Vaheguru Ji is the expansion of the universe in the form of sargun. The one Vaheguru Ji is fully permeating everything in the form of nirgun. एको सच्चे हर जी आप अनंत ब्रह्मांड ਦਾ ਪਸਾਰਾ ਸਰਗਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਹਨ। ਆਪਣੇ ਸਰਗਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਅਨੰਤ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਪਸਾਰੇ ਚ ਏਕੋ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਅਜਪਾ ਜਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਖਿਮਾ ਧੀਰਜ ਸਹਿਨਸ਼ੀਲਤਾ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਗਰੀਬੀ ਨਿਰਵਿਕਾਰਤਾ ਨਿਰਵੈਰਤਾ ਨਿਰਲੇਪਤਾ ਆਦਿ ਅਨੰਤ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਗੁਣਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਨੰਤ ਕਲਾ ਸਹਿਤ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਵਿਆਪਕ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। Maharaj is here. Maharaj is here with Kala. Maharaj is here with Shakti. Anat Kala hoy Thakur Chadya. Maharaj is here with Shubh Gun. And these Shubh Guns are what Maharaj is gifting towards us. Bhai, tusi khima karo, dheeraj rakho, nimarta rakho. But not khima in the sense of like, you know, being meek and weak. Like you should still be able to take off a head if need be. But I would even start this at a place of kima towards yourself. You know what I mean? Like you, instead of body shaming and shaming, why would I think this, or why did I do this, or why did this happen? No, this is a path of forgive. Maharaj's philosophy is so great. We don't need to be stuck in these little things. Tika, we committed. Oh, you know what? Paap ho gaya. Tika, par idda karta, kuch karta. Who gives a should I be sorry? Who cares, man? Like move, let's gather, let's jap mantra, let's jap, you know what Maharaj has gifted us, and we move forward. Not gonna dwell on these things. And the way not to dwell on it is take a particular job. You know what? I'm going to do Sawa Lakh Mool Mantra in the next 40 days. I'm going to do I'm going to do a certain amount of, you know, I'm doing 25 Japji says for the next month. You know what? I have some holidays coming up. I'm doing this. Or you know what? I got to work. I'm only going to do 6 miles of Mool Mantra because I got to go to work, or I'm going to do this. Keep the tongue flowing. Keep the mantra going. Eventually, the thought process will slow down. If you keep the mantra going, you're jumping. Eventually, throughout the day, you'll start tuning in. Your mouth is moving, you'll start tuning in. Use a mala, use a counter, use whatever's at our disposal. Start walking on the path. So, anak bistar ekate pe, many anak bistar expansion fela ek te from a happened. The expansion was created from the one Ajapajap Nirgun Vaheguru Ji. So, ਆਨਕ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦਾ ਫੈਲਾ, ਆਨਕ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਦੇ ਫੈਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਜਪਾ ਜਾਪ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਪਸਰਿਓ ਪਾਸਾਰ ਸਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਏਕੰਕਾਰ. So this has happened many times. This expansion has happened many times. ਕੀਤਾ ਪਸਾਓ ਇੱਕੋ ਕਵਾ ਤਿਸਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਲਖਰੀ ਦਰਿਆ ਜਬ ਆਕਾਰ ਕਰਤਾ ਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਮੈਂ ਮਿਲਤਾ ਦੇतर सब हूँ. So when Maharaj does expansion, he does expansion. When Maharaj pulls it back, everything goes within Maharaj. Eko arade parachat gaye, chak lo bhai. By remembering Vaheguru Ji with full love and devotion, sins go away. Straight to the point. Eko one. Arade, by worshipping, chitte kannal. Parachat, papa, sins. gay, chale gay, departed, went away. So here's our the bread and butter. Here's our everything. ਹਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ ਨਿਆਰੇ ਖਸਮ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਨ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਨਾਲ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਾਰ ਕੇ ਚੇਤੇ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪਾਪ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ. So by remembering Vaheguru Ji with full love and devotion, sins go away. Sins go away of the ones that remember Vaheguru Ji with full love and devotion. ਚੇਤੇ ਕਰੋ ਭਾਈ. Let's do what we came to do. Let's start walking. ਮਨ ਤਨ ਅੰਤਰ ਏਕ ਪ੍ਰਭੁ ਰਾਤਾ. ਮਨ ਮਨ ਤਨ ਤਨ ਅੰਤਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਏਕੋ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਰਾਤਾ ਰੰਗੇ ਗਏ imbued colored in love rata Gur Prasad 100%. It's all Gur Prasad, man. It's all Gur Prasad. There's no jor here. Gur Prasad Nanak Panjve Pasha ji Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Maharaj ji Ekko Jata Jane, to know or understood. Jane Jata. Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji is speaking in a state of vismad, in a state of blissful wonder. That beloved Sikh who has realized Japaja Vaheguru Ji through Gur Prasad, the Baba Harnam Singh Jis of the world, the Baba Nand Singh Ji Kalerans of the world, the Sant Baba Guruvachan Singh Ji Pindur Kalas of the world. His or her mind and body has been colored in the love of Vaheguru Ji. Panjve Pasha Ji ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਚ ਲੀਨ ਫਰਮਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਜੀ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨ ਜੀ ਸਗਲ ਕੋ ਦੇ ਦਾਨ. ਸਰਵਿਆਪੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਵਿਸਮਾਦ ਸੱਚੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਇੱਕ ਜਪਾ ਜਾਪ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਸਰੂਪ ਜੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਹਨ. ਇਸ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਰੋਮ ਰੋਮ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਸਰੂਪ ਜੋਤੀ ਜੋ ਸਰੂਪ ਸੱਚੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਰੰਗਿਆ ਗਿਆ. ਲਾਲ ਰੰਗੋ ਤਿਸ ਕਉ ਲੱਗਾ, ਜਿਸ ਕੇ ਵਡ ਭਾਗਾ, ਮਹਿਲਾ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਵਈ. ਈੜੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਈ ਹੋਵਈ ਨਾ ਲਾਗੈ ਦਾਗਾ. ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੀ ਆ. And that was the end of the 19th Astpadi. Firth Prabhaya Paryato Sanai. We will Gur Prasad reconvene next week.